Amphitheater in Tuscaloosa on August 30th. Segura and his wife are part of a comedy podcast called Your Mom's House, which has 2 million subscribers on YouTube. Tickets for the performance go on sale this Friday. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon. It's true, rates aren't as low as they have been for the past couple of years, but there are still many homeowners that could benefit from refinancing their current mortgage. There are a lot of things in life that are out of our control, but your mortgage rate is not one of them. If you currently have an adjustable rate mortgage, then you owe it to yourself to give us a call.
Adjustable rate mortgages make sense for some people in stable markets, but in this wild, ever-changing rate environment, it only makes sense to secure a fixed interest rate. A fixed interest rate will give you the peace of mind that your rate is locked. Your rate will not be subject to change with the political and economic tides.
At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can personalize your term. We offer 8-year to 30-year mortgages and everything in between. Grab your mortgage statement and give us a call.
Call Alabama Home Mortgage, the #1 mortgage lender in Alabama, today at 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert, and I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. We've helped over 30,000 families out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. If your timeshare agreement goes on forever, if you were told timeshares are a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, you have questions, we have the answers. At Wesley Financial Group, we're dedicated to helping timeshare owners get out of their financial nightmare. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call now for your free timeshare exit information kit. Call 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000. The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Hey, miss, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a feller in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his hand. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon, or as we're calling it online, Joey Clark Live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Eddie Bader's back in the studio.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good?
Yeah.
Making money?
Chasing money.
Yeah, trying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
chasing
yeah, I'm putting your best foot forward.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Make hay while the sun shines, whatever other idiom saying that's out there.
Giving it all I got, buddy. Been
Good
doing
to
it
see
since
you
like
again.
5 o'clock.
Good to see you. Good to see you. There's so much out there to talk about, but as is tradition on Wednesdays, let's start with the one, the only Jeff Poor, host of the Jeff Poor Show. They're at 106.5 FM in the Mobile area, and also editor-in-chief at 1819 News. Jeff, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, Joey. How are you?
Surviving. I think you're surviving more than me, as you were telling me earlier this morning, but I think we'll both get through it. Now, I want to start with just politics, because for the rest of the weeks leading up to this runoff in Alabama District 2, I have both Dick Brubaker and Caroline Dobson on. I believe you talked to Brubaker today. What's your sense of where that race is going?
I mean, I still think it's Brubaker's to lose. Dobson's making some ground, but is it enough? If she had maybe more than just that month or how many ever days it is between the primary and runoff, probably would serve her. Like for example, Joey, if this were a COVID situation that Ivy postpones this runoff like she did in 2020, then maybe Dobson could come in and pull it off. right now, overcoming that Brubaker name in your neck of the woods, to me, everything between Phoenix City and Butler County, Greenville, is who's going to go Brubaker. She'll do well south of that, but will that be enough? And I'm not sure that it is.
Well, my biggest concern with Carolina is not anything she said so far. In fact, she's impressed me, and I called her at least getting into the runoff. It's more that she is so new. It makes me wonder, when the Democrats start getting into Oppo research, if they don't already have it, what happens in November? Because I have a feeling if it is indeed going to be, say, Shamari Figures, they ain't holding back by any means.
No, but, I mean, it's still the Alabama Democrats, so how hard will they play here? I mean, like, look at our last competitive election. Let's say 2017 and Doug Jones versus Roy Moore. I mean, we don't know this. If Roy Moore doesn't have that story come out, what does it look like? What does the world look like today? But I kind of think that was from the inside of the Republican Party that got Judge Moore. There's no reason for us to believe, there's no portfolio work or anything to think that the Democratic Party structure, at least in this state, can do anything to really, I would say, like politically, they just don't seem like they have the experience or the tools to do it and pull it off. But that being said, I mean, Shamari Figures may win just based on pure numbers. Right. It may not take a lot of campaign strategy or whatever anyway.
Now, I'm looking at a headline here from Bradley Cox at 1819news.com. Democrat Marilyn Lands wins HD 10 special election. And the national press, of course, NBC had a story on this today. Does this mean anything big, or is it it's one of these special elections so you don't have massive turnout? I mean, what do you make of this win by a Democrat and the swing to a Democrat?
I think it's a big deal. I don't think it's a small thing. I mean, yeah, the circumstances surrounding it may not make it seem like a big deal, and it doesn't matter in the overall balance of power in the Alabama House of Representatives. But here's why it's a big deal. And this race was lost by Republicans for a bunch of reasons. But what Democrats are going to make it out to be is what matters here. This is what has me concerned. I think that they're trying to make this all about IVF and all about abortion, and it's some kind of mandate from the voters of Alabama, which is just like 5,000 voters, but it's being covered like it's a mandate from the voters of Alabama against the state's pro-life policies. And Republicans, for that reason alone, should have put up a bigger fight, because it's a table setter for November. At least the national media are going to use it as such. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am totally unimpressed with the effort that Republicans put up. And I think it's time to start kind of figuring out what went wrong here. It would have been one thing, Joey, if they had lost by 2 or 3 points. They lost by like 20 points. What the hell happened? Right. Why didn't you get out more voters than you did?
Yeah, and I think it was an 18-point swing from 2022 in the Democrats' way. So that you might be right in the sense that this is the abortion issue, the IVF issue, and now I guess it was in front of the Supreme Court yesterday, and it didn't sound great in terms of oral arguments for the conservative side. But these abortion pills that are now, even in Alabama, still mail order available, and there's a lot of arguments over how safe these things are, but there's one thing to look at the issue and the morality of it, the safety of particular procedures. When you look at the politics, I'm wondering, do conservative pro-life folks, even in Alabama, are they ready for the fight that's coming their way?
I don't think they're intellectually prepared at all for it. The IVF ruling kind of proved that. So essentially, the Alabama Supreme Court says we're granting personhood for the sake of civil cases to embryos. And what Democrats were able to do with that is say, look at the Republicans banning IVF. I mean, that's not what they did. It's just, it presents some challenges for IVF clinics. It's not a ban on IVF per se. So, how do Republicans come back at this and explain it and counter all of the talking points, and they are flat-footed? They don't really understand it. They didn't take the time to do their homework, and it's going to be a problem in the November election.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a huge issue here in Alabama, but across this great nation of ours, especially in some of your more purple battleground states. And that brings me to some of the latest polls coming out where everything's tightened up in the battleground states. They're essentially at a dead heat and a tie between Biden and Trump. But you were asking me this morning. I want to give it back to you. Do you think RFK Jr. plays spoiler, and who does he actually spoil?
I mean, everybody I talk to that's supportive with the RFK phenomenon it comes out of, I think, the right. Maybe they're not hardcore MAGA Trump types, but they are Ron Paul-ish, Tulsi Gabbard, these sort of third way kind of sexy names. I think it hurts Trump more, honestly. Democrats seem to be more concerned about it, but I mean, I'm kind of on the other side of this.
Yeah, and we'll see where it goes. The chair of the Libertarian Party, the brand new one, Angela McCurdle, thinks her name, said, we're kind of shocked by the VP pick. This woman doesn't align with any of our libertarian point of view. So we'll see how it squares away. But it seems like the Biden folks are acting like RFK Jr. is a problem. So, I'm more talking about like when the dog, squeals, like when somebody's making noise, okay, something's up here. They're a little worried about this guy.
Well, I was telling you this during our segment that I think he's this generation's Ralph Nader, Green Party guy. I don't know though. He seems to have that similar platform. Now he's appealing to somewhat different subset of the political culture. But there is like, Joe, you've seen this before, and maybe we even went through this phase where you're on your college campus and you got your Republicans over here, and you got your Democrats over here, and you have these crazy kids that are like Ron Paul guys, or you have these crazy kids that were whatever, and the crazy kids are kind of gravitating toward RFK Jr. right now.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right on that. Though, bringing back memories of college, I tried to fit in with the Republicans. I tried to fit in with the Democrats. I'm like, well, maybe these crazy kids over here with the Ron Paul. And I'm like, nope, I don't fit in with anybody. I guess, just fly solo, Joe, for the rest of your life. I want to bring it back to Alabama because I saw this morning on 1819 News, and I believe it's the state senator in your neck of the woods there, Senator Elliott. And he's got a bill to consolidate 38 licensing boards into the Department of Labor. Now, last time we did a big consolidation, I'm thinking Aaliyah, and it didn't quite save the money people had promised at the time. But do you think this is a good approach that Chris Elliott's presenting?
I think it's a necessary approach, only because of this, Joey, that you've got these boards that do the licensing, but they're also like, these same people, like, okay, your first stop, you have to go through their consulting class, and they set all the parameters, and then once you get coached up by them and you pay them a bunch of money, then you sit for whatever license it is. It's such an incestuous system that it needs to be. We can't have this sort of like profiteering off the government that exists now. People are making a lot of money off of it. And it's just it's extortion to some degree. So what I do think there needs to be, a degree of regulatory authority over some of these occupations, but it has been manipulated in such a way, Joey, that it is being used, and there's a profit mechanism here that they're taking people that just want to get a licensed massage therapist or whatever, making them go through their training that they're paying them for before they can sit and get that license.
I like to fancy myself a fairly fast reader, but even I'm prone to this. I'm looking at the story that Caleb Taylor wrote up, and the paragraph starts with, if passed into law, boards that would be consolidated into the Office of Occupational and Professional Licensing on October the 1st, 2025 are, and he lists all the boards. Do you ever have that moment where you see a paragraph and you just have to blink, like your head starts to hurt? It's like, wait, how many of these things exist? And then that doesn't include all the stuff that would happen in 2026. So I think you're spot on. And I really salute Senator Elliott for bringing this up because, I would like to go further. Let's just get rid of some of these things.
Well, let me tell you though, Senator Elliott is taking. I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't woken up to a severed horse head in his bed yet. Because I mean, there are some people who are really against what he's trying to accomplish here.
What is it going to be? The State Board of Podiatry that really goes after him?
Well, I mean, they got one. I mean, they have their guy, right? Every one of these organizations does accumulate a certain amount of wealth from this goofy process, and they got their guy in Montgomery, their fixer, who's ready to go as hard as he needs to go or she needs to go to maintain the status quo.
Well, and Eddie, you know anything about these things?
Yes, I do, Joey.
You want to talk about it publicly?
Not really, Joey.
Oh, I forgot you have a license.
That's right.
That's how it works, folks. How it works. And last question, I'll get you out of here with this, Jeff. You gonna buy one of those Trump Lee Greenwood Bibles?
I wasn't, but I'm starting to lean toward maybe making the purchase because I am like kind of irritated by like the snarky, like look at this stupid big bad orange man having to make money to pay his legal bills, so he's selling Bibles. I mean, that's not really what's going on here, guys. But sure enough, thinking that, if you will, it's going to make me go buy the stupid Bible.
Well, and I'm going to play the commercial clip, folks, of Trump announcing this in just a moment. But as soon as I watched it, Jeff, I was thinking of the 2016 campaign where it got down to what Ted Cruz was the really big challenge left. And he started calling, lying Ted. He holds the Bible high and he lies, lies, lies. And I'm like, where's that Trump? We need that Trump back. Oh, man. Well, I appreciate it as always. If folks want to check out your work, what you're writing about, thinking about, how can they do so?
Twitter.com/Jeff_4. It's all right there.
Well, appreciate it as always. Talk again soon. Thank you, sir.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Again, folks, Jeff Poor there. I've got to pull up on the stream if you want to follow him on the Twitter. So, yeah, you want to watch this Bible presentation?
Yeah.
Because, actually, I don't think it's bad.
I don't think. What has he not sold that has turned to gold? Everything he's touched as far as the sneakers.
Trump steaks. Look at this Trump wine. I worked with Sharper Image. You can get it in an airport or at a Trump hotel. Other than that, you're SOL. You know what that means. Out of luck.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's worked.
So Trump did, in fact, decide to start selling Bibles. And not just any Bible. Apparently, it's the King James version. So it's a little old-timey in its language, which, honestly, I prefer. I kind of like that. Well, it makes you work harder to understand what you're reading.
Right.
And I am a bit
Fisher
of
price it down for you.
bit of a sucker for the more Shakespearean English out there. They had a lot more fun with their words. In fact, I would love to hear Trump read from the King James Bible.
Let's wait till after he gets elected.
Yeah, let's wait. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Play
Well,
it safe.
pulling this up now. No, don't show me notifications. True Social. Thank you very much. Statement on True Social here. Let's let's listen in.
I'm proud to be partnering with my very good friend Lee Greenwood, who doesn't love his song God Bless the USA, in connection with promoting the God Bless the USA Bible.
Right.
This Bible is the King James Version and also includes our founding father documents, yes, the Constitution, which I'm fighting for every single day, very hard, to keep Americans protected. Also, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, and the Pledge of Allegiance are all part of this God Bless the USA Bible. And it's just very important and very important to me. I want to have a lot of people have it. You have to have it for your heart, for your soul. Many of you have never read them and don't know the liberties and rights you have as Americans.
Now, I want to pause it there. That is a nice looking Bible.
It is.
Like
And the whole Lee
leather
Greenwood
cover?
tie-in.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Okay.
And how you are being threatened to lose those rights. It's happening all the time. It's a very sad thing that's going on in our country, but we're going to get it turned around. Religion and Christianity are the biggest things missing from this country, and I truly believe that we need to bring them back, and we have to bring them back fast. I think it's one of the biggest problems we have. That's why our country is going haywire. We've lost religion in our country. All Americans need a Bible in their home, and I have many. It's my favorite book. It's a lot of people's favorite book. This Bible is a reminder that the biggest thing we have to bring back America and to make America great again is our religion. Religion is so important. It's so missing, but it's going to come back, and it's going to come back strong, just like our country is going to come back strong. In the end, we do not answer to bureaucrats in Washington. We answer to God in heaven. Christians are under siege. We must protect content that is pro-God. We love God, and we have to protect anything that is pro-God. We must defend God in the public square and not allow the media or the left-wing groups to silence, censor, or discriminate against us. We have to bring Christianity back into our lives and back into what will be again a great nation. Our founding fathers did a tremendous thing when they built America on Judeo-Christian values. Now that foundation is under attack, perhaps as never before. What can we do? Stand up, speak out, and pray that God will bless America again. I'm proud to endorse and encourage you to get this Bible. We must make America pray again. Pray, get educated, get motivated, and stand with me and the legions of Americans asking God to bless our great nation, to bring our great nation back, and to make America great again. I'm proud to partner with Lee in this offering. He's a very special man, both as a talent, but maybe even more so as a human being. He's very, very special. And I think you all should get a copy of God Bless.
Yeah, and it's God Bless the USA Bible, and it's a leather bound with like a almost leather etching inlay of an American flag kind of on the bottom half.
Honestly,
there.
Joey, who wouldn't want that Bible?
Right.
For millions of reasons.
Right.
USA Bible now and help spread our Christian values with others. There you have it. Let's make America pray again. God bless you, and God bless the USA.
Yeah, and he did that I'll give him credit. Trump did that very straight, very somberly. Though, even when he's trying to do that, there's this jovial quality to the guy's speech pattern. And yeah.
You know it's back there.
And you got to wonder, like, he should have ended, like, reading his favorite passage.
What is the price? Do you know?
I think it's like $40.
Dude, I'll probably buy one of these Bibles for a buddy of mine in Jamaica. I think.
Yeah, you think he'd like it?
I know he'd love it. He's a very religious person anyway.
No, it's $60.
I'd still do it. I can't imagine why people wouldn't want it. I'm sure there's a sector of society that doesn't want it, but at the end of the day, it's a Bible. Kind of hard to go against that.
Oh, the other day, well, and I actually did this years ago too.
Yeah.
I just posted on the Book of Faces, love your enemies.
Oh.
And
looking for a fight, were you, Joey?
And man, the responses were like, no, I'm not going to do that. Not with the damn dirty Democrat, not with these Trumpers out there.
Buddy.
So, and my response to everybody that got mad at me for saying love your enemies was, okay, you can do what you want, but don't become your own enemy.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've just gone nuts in general.
Yeah.
Like Doug Jones, former U.S. Senator.
Yeah, I remember Doug Jones.
Can you believe he lost at Tuberville? He's so learned.
Yeah.
And he came out against RFK Jr. strong today, sharing a Biden super PAC ad and talking about RFK Jr.'s Wacko Jacko, which I'm like, getting close. What are you thinking about there?
Michael Jackson was Wacko Jackson.
Was he?
Yeah, I always heard him as
But
Wacko Jackson.
RFK Jr.'s Wacko Jacko ideas, I'm like, no, I think Wacko Jacko describes the entire political scene here in the United States. Like, don't kid yourselves, folks.
We got the insane running the asylum, Joey.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
What? You got me on that one. Hey, what's up, bro?
Hey, Randall, what's up, man?
Not much, man. Eddie, Joey been taking to school, so we need a good, better last, day. You know what I mean? You can't. Well, I loved it. I enjoyed a bit of it, but if you ain't into learning and into your feelings, like the deep side, you gotta have Eddie on the show. Because Joey gonna put it down.
Why won't that young man just talk about football or how good Trump is or something?
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Right.
But
Give me the pablum back.
I've enjoyed it, man. But welcome back, Eddie, man. We need to last through this too, but we also needs to know how serious it is. And for Donald Trump not to mention Jesus not one time, y'all should have pointed that out to start with. Look, and it's surprised that he didn't put interfaith on that in that speech anywhere. You're gonna start hearing interfaith, and that was him and his son-in-law's way of introducing the one world religion when they brought in the Abrahamic Accords. It's interfaith. It ain't about a country. It's about your person inside the country. And they have took it. I mean, you know all the rest of it, all the way up to the Pope blessing the Abrahamic house, and for him not saying nothing about Jesus, and that the only time he said Christians is when he said this country was built on Judeo-Christian and it's under attack. Yeah, America is under attack. He just told us. He wasn't speaking on religion when he said that. I promise you, he is telling us, and that's what this is, a spiritual war. And I'm glad. Look, the other day I didn't want to call in. I mean, Friday I couldn't really sit down and discuss it with him at the time, but I'm so ready to hear Craig's side, man. I got some questions for him, and I had so many for him Friday, but man, it just wasn't. I mean, I couldn't get it out, so. I don't want to. I got to find a way to articulate it where it don't cause any kind of doubt in anybody listening. And I don't know how to do that yet. I reached out to my brother. I reached out to different people because now we got to start talking about it. We can't be scared of it. And I guess we had to get. The only way you really going to get to it, I know it'd be hard in 3 hours to have a priest and a pastor and maybe one other on there where we can get a discussion and really. I mean, just see what that side is and have one that don't do nothing off the internet. We need to find a pastor and a priest that does not get nothing off the internet. All their studies come from the Bible and God leading them, and they don't ever touch the internet. And then we also need two from the internet. I mean, I'm saying like I own a radio show, but I understand the spiritual part of this is real big. And for Donald Trump to be stepping out here like this, and the way they hold the Bible up in pictures when they pose, watch the thumb. And trying to place it and see where they place it and start picking up on this stuff. And him not to mention Jesus one time and kept talking about God, bro, that's scary for him to sit there and do that blatantly and that open and not even care. I mean, not one bit.
And this is the problem with talking about this in public. Everybody starts to split hairs, I think.
Yeah.
You didn't say it in the exact right way. And it's like, yeah, because your literal words are what you actually believe. It's just, you're going to get me on a rant now, Randall, but I appreciate it. Got to run.
No, I want to hear it because we need to know that. I mean, it does matter how you say stuff. Words matter, bro. They really do.
It does, but it doesn't get to, I think there's a lot of truth to life that goes unspoken that can't be put in words.
All right, well, let's walk down the road. When you talk about Christianity and you don't mention Jesus, how can you connect that and not say there was something wrong with that? For him to blatantly leave Jesus out of it and say, call God's name. So, I mean, he called out God. I thought he was about to listen to you. If he said God one more time, like, where was Jesus at when he could have put the Spirit in there? He could have did he could have did any of that. He chose not to. And he chose to shout God 1,000,000 times in that.
No, isn't Jesus God?
We heard the word interfaith this the other day for the first time in the news coming out of Chicago. And it's about to start coming through here. And, man, when y'all hear that run from that word, it's not good. And that's where they're heading us to. All of us to get along, to love each other. And it don't matter what you are, who you are, and what you do in life. You know what I mean? Just take it and move on. It does matter. I mean, because if it didn't, we wouldn't. Our people wouldn't have came here to start a new country. And you know what I mean? So
yeah, I know, but I think the argument over words and who exactly knows the mind of God creates half the problem, and it's much more about the actions you do when nobody else is looking. Only God Himself is.
Okay. Well, no. What you're doing, I mean, it don't matter. It does matter what you do, but it matters how you. If you go recording yourself doing deeds. Yeah, okay, but yeah, you do got to go do stuff. You can't just pray about something and not go at least try to halfway meet God. You can't be lazy about this. You can't pray for peace and then sit there and watch the news. It don't work like that. I mean, when you pray for something, God sends trials away for you to fight to see if you're good where you at and to see if you deserve Jesus or not. If not, you just stay down there doing what you do and holler at God all the time because there's plenty of gods. I promise you, plenty. All right, bro. Love you.
Love you, Randall.
Well, why didn't you say Jehovah? Why didn't you say, I don't know. I get a little annoyed sometimes, just to put it mildly. Hey, let's hit a break. We'll come back to Erica
Break.
Thomas
Aye.
right after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group. Have you ever considered turning your home into a rental and build wealth at the same time? People throughout the river region are doing that right now. By investing wisely in the right property or turning your current home into a rental is the secret. Hiring a property manager to professionally manage your property is the way to prosperity. Our company does all of the advertising, personally showing prospective tenants, does a thorough background check and credit report before moving forward. Over 15 critical services are provided to our clients in protecting the asset, but also providing the best residence in your home possible. Collecting rent on time and frequent inspections help landlords feel better about renting their house, and to provide clean, well-kept homes that anybody would be proud to call home. For a complete list of property management services, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
I'm with Miss Dot at the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall. How was your anniversary sale, Dot?
It was just wonderful, and I want to thank everybody that came out. It was a great time. It meant so much to me for it to be 30 years, and y'all just came out and made my day.
Well, spring is almost here. Is Eastbrook ready?
We're beginning to get the patio tables and chairs out. We've got so much there, it's hard to put it into a minute commercial. You just got to come see what we got. You know, we've got 3 floors and 60,000 square feet. So just come see us, because we probably got a sale or two going, and our merchandise is pretty reasonable, I think. We don't charge a commission to the vendors, and so our prices are able to be a little bit less than some other places.
Give us those hours of operation.
Monday through Friday, 10 until 6. Saturday, 9 until 6. And Sunday is 12:30 to 4:30.
That's the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall, 425 Coliseum Boulevard.
So y'all come on by and see us. We'd love to have you.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Wake it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
Luxury car prices and payments have hit an all-time high. But at Lexus of Montgomery, we have every new Lexus model in stock with low APR financing to save you thousands. Right now, take advantage of as low as 3.99% APR financing on your favorite new Lexus. You don't have to pay more to get the luxury vehicle you want. Pay less at Lexus of Montgomery. You deserve to drive a Lexus from Lexus of Montgomery.
Financing up to 36 months is $29.50 per 1,000 finance. With approved credit. Ends 4/1/24.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Hi, everybody. The weather news is getting better and better over the next several days, especially as we approach the Easter weekend. Lots of sunshine today. I've got us around 74 for the high temperature. Partly cloudy, cooler tonight, overnight low 48. Tomorrow's high up to about 69, lots of sun. And then for Easter weekend, Good Friday, high in the lower 70s. I think we'll be in the upper 70s Saturday, near or above 80 on Easter Sunday, and sunshine for several days in a row. A great forecast. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
ASE Credit Union makes auto loans easy with rates as low as 4.75% APR. Apply online or visit your local branch today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union, your life, your goals, your ASE.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now we have a talented writer, a lovely lady on the phone. She's gotten 2 inches taller in the last month or so. Erica Thomas of 1819 News. Hey, Erica, how you doing?
Howdy, Joey. That was a great intro. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. Now, let's talk about our Attorney General here in the great state of Alabama. He just visited your neck of the woods, I believe. What did he talk about?
Yes, he did. He came to the South Baldwin Republican Women's Luncheon yesterday. They had their regular March meeting, and he did talk a little bit about the area down here, but really his topic was more broad and statewide, and that was the opioid crisis, which, if you know, you can just go ask anybody, and most people have in some way been impacted by the opioid crisis, whether they've been addicted to an opioid, or they know somebody, or they've lost somebody. A lot of people have lost their lives to this crisis. So it's something that Marshall said it's not only important professionally for him, but personally.
Yeah, and it really is, it's harrowing when you see the stats. And often people think, oh, fentanyl or overdose. You're thinking, I'm taking a drug that I mean to be taking. I want to take all this Percocet. I want to take this fentanyl. But a lot of these deaths, especially from fentanyl, are somebody saying, like, I want to buy an Adderall or Xanax off the street, which you shouldn't be doing that in the first place, but these things are now laced. This is like poisoning.
Yeah, that's actually that's the main way people are dying right now, is because of fentanyl-laced pills that they don't realize have fentanyl in them. Of course, it's always best to only take things that you were prescribed, but that's where this problem started a long time ago, is with people prescribing these medications and these pharmaceutical companies pushing them so hard. And that's where Attorney General Steve Marshall came in a few years ago to fight that part of it, because he really can't do anything about the recovery process, the mental health situation in Alabama. What he can do as Attorney General is, from the law enforcement standpoint, hold those accountable who are responsible. And so he went after the pharmaceutical companies. The state of Alabama has recovered over $850 million in funds from litigation since then, and there's still more to come. And so with it being such an important thing for Marshall, I think a lot of these programs with this money can now get started to help with recovery and things like that, because this money will be used in statewide, but also it'll go to counties and municipalities.
And I know this is a serious topic, but I've got to share, we're now live streaming, as you know, Erica, and one of our regular commenters, I know his real name, he calls himself the Romex Angler.
Oh, I know that
Like,
guy.
I've got your photo from 1819 up here.
aye.
We're talking on the phone, and Romex Angler writes in and says, damn, can we get her in the studio? I'm like, wow. I'm sorry that, watch out for the
I do have a
comments.
question, though. Is this before the 2-inch gain in height?
Yeah, I was about to say, that's not me anymore. I'm actually 2 inches taller since then.
Wow.
So.
Right, exactly.
Only getting better, Joey.
Now,
Thank you, Angler guy.
oh no, he kept going. I'm not sharing the rest of it. Well, no, I will. He goes, she will blow Britt out of the water with looks. I'm like, you're a married man, Romex Angler. Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
Anyway,
Well, that's really sweet, but yeah, if that was my husband saying that about somebody else, I'd probably tell him to sleep outside tonight.
So
Sleep
on
with
the
the fish, Angler.
see, Romex comes after me and Eddie all the time, and it's good to hear him get it back a little bit here. Now, there's one story that came out a few days ago. I think it's a magnificent story, taking tragedy and turning into a message of hope, and not just a message, but actual practical hope for people. The story is Alabama father invents opioid alternative following death of son. Lay out for the folks what this father did and what happened here.
So this man, he is from Clay, Alabama, which is close to a suburb of Birmingham, like close to Trustful area. And son, the father's name is Tom Dooley, and he's a PhD. He's like into biomedics and all that kind of thing. Always has been since the beginning of his career in the early 80s. When his youngest son was 12 years old, and his name is also Thomas is his son's name. When he was 12 years old, they realized something was off with him, anxiety-wise, and so he was diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder, and he was put on some medication. It didn't really work that great. He sought therapy, did all these things. Well, then he ended up going to have his wisdom teeth taken out. And at that time, he was prescribed an opioid because, the pain from that's pretty severe. So when he was given that opioid, he was like, Dad, I've never felt better. This is fixing all of my problems. So that's where his road to addiction began. And Thomas Dooley, unfortunately, is one of the statistics now. His father found him dead in the basement of their home. And as someone that actually develops medications and develops very strong prescription medication, Tom Dooley, he said, I have got to do something about this. I've got to find a way for people suffering from anxiety. Now, this is not the pain part, but the anxiety part. Because I didn't realize this, but people are actually prescribed opioids for anxiety sometimes, which is not really a good thing. But some people, it just helps them, so their doctor will give it to them. It's probably not as prevalent as it was at this time. His son died in 2017. But he went through, read a lot of older studies on different medications, and he developed a new class of drugs. He calls it Panax. Now, it hasn't been approved by the FDA yet. We're still waiting on that. That process takes years. But this is a combination of beta blockers and a motion sickness medicine. And it's not addictive like opioids are, but it can absolutely relieve the symptoms of anxiety. So he is doing this, and it's just one of the many things he has done since he lost his son. He's very passionate about helping others.
Well, what a man. And to take a tragedy, and truly a tragedy like that, and make it part of your life's mission as you go forward and trudge forward. Amazing story, folks. I encourage you to find it and read it for yourself there at at19news.com.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot more that he's done, and it's all in that story on 1819news.com, so you can go check that out.
Now, just to lighten the mood a little bit, a lady on the stream is commenting in, how tall is she? Speaking of you, Erica, Kim Mayton says this. Kim also shares, I'm 4'9". Wow.
Oh,
short.
That's like my mom's height almost. My mom's like 4'10". She says she's 4'11", but she's not. Hey, Kim, I was 5 feet and a half inch before my back surgery, and now I'm 5 feet 2.5 inches. So almost 5'3". I'll just say 5.
She could dunk on you. Just so you know. She could dunk on you.
I'm not that
I could
short.
probably see the top of your head, because that was when I realized I got taller after surgery, is I stood up in front of my mom, who's really short, and I was like, oh my gosh, Mama, I can see the top of your head.
Well, and I'm going to do probably a pickup game of basketball with you now, and you're going to leap over me, and it's like, I forgot her nickname in high school was Spud Webb. Like, what is this? What is
out now? Yeah, I mean, I have a whole new sense of confidence. It's way different up here. Like, the air is just feels better.
That's
it's
a little
just
bit
more
better.
clear, it's fresh.
Up where it's crisp, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
How's it up there where you are, Eddie?
Oh, it's very crisp. Not many people breathe this air.
Now, moving
How tall
on.
are you, Eddie?
I'm like 6'1".
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but compared to
can't
Joey,
tell
I'm a
you
giant.
sitting
So,
down.
yeah.
You've got like 2 inches on me, man.
That Joey math? 2 inches? 5'7", 6'1"?
I'm not 5'7", you
5'7" and a half?
jackass.
5'7" and a half.
There's a
I'm sorry.
lady on the phone, but I'm not scared to threaten you.
5'7" and a half.
Good to see you. You got more days to take off?
Yeah, actually, we got to talk.
And anyway, there's another story. Both Alabama senators, U.S. senators, working together, both Tuberville and Britt, to introduce a resolution on the Mountain Gateway arrest. This was in Nicaragua. What's the latest on this?
So this is a case, a situation, really, we've been following since December when 11 pastors and 2 attorneys connected to Mountain Gateway were arrested in Nicaragua. Mountain Gateway was started by the man, John Britton Hancock, who's from Pinson, Alabama, which, by the way, is close to Clay, where that father who invented the opioids is from. But he's been helping build churches, train pastors for years. And after these arrests, he called the Nicaraguan government out and he said, this is religious persecution. They're not allowing these people to have any contact with the outside world. They're not even saying what exactly and officially these charges are, even though they're accusing them of money laundering and organized crime. They really believe that what led to these arrests were these huge events they had last summer that brought hundreds of thousands of people to God.
Mm-hmm.
As Christians, Senators Tommy Tuberville and Katie Britt are part of trying to get the attention of Washington and say we need to do something. You know, last week we talked about how they wanted to put sanctions on the Nicaraguan government for the treatment of these people. Well, this week they actually introduced a resolution condemning Nicaragua for what they're doing.
Yeah, and I'm reading it now. And again, folks, this is on AT19news.com. Well, I appreciate the time as always, Erica. And I guess folks want to follow your work, just go to AT19news.com.
Yes, please go to 1819news.com. My work's there, and all of the amazing people we have working right now in Montgomery, they're going to keep you updated on that legislature. And if you want to contact me, you can email news@1819news.com.
Well, thank you, Erica, as always. Talk again soon.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless. 272-9228. I'm not 5'7", man. That
I
one,
gave you 5'7"
that
and a
one was
half.
just, no, that's just hurtful. It's just mean.
I'm sorry. You want us to get a measuring tape?
Yes. Let's settle this now.
I got one in the truck. We'll go get one.
We're talking about height still, right?
Oh, yeah. You don't have your boots on, though, do you?
No.
I know how sometimes,
I've got
Joey.
these flats, these shoes.
Why don't we just do it barefooted so we can be easy?
We can do that too if you want.
Whatever.
No, I'm like 5'10".
See, this is what's funny. Threaten, get the tape out. Ah, yeah, I'm fine. I'm good.
Maybe on a good day, 5'11". If I'm stretched
You think good
out.
stretch?
You know, I am, in all seriousness, I think 5'10", 5'11" in that
area. That's perfectly normal for a guy.
Yeah, average.
Yeah,
That's
all
what
you
I
wanna
tell
do.
everybody, including my dates. Average.
Yeah.
I'm average.
I mean, average for...
You don't want to oversell things.
Not
anymore.
an NBA player, nothing but average.
No, just average. For a guy. Just
That-
living in America.
Well, actually, you're better than average because most guys at that height got that big old belly. You ain't got the big old belly.
Well, for a second I did.
You can still hide behind a post.
No, I will say, folks, it's a simple term, probiotics.
Ah,
It
working
works.
well, huh?
Yes, dude. Should have done this years ago.
Yes. I felt the same way about glasses, Joey.
Oh, really? Wear your glasses today.
Well, I don't, we're on the camera and all. I've learned it.
You look good with the glasses on camera.
This is the issue I have.
I encourage you to wear your glasses.
And I never thought of
Four
myself
eyes.
as a vain person, but those have the automatic tinting shade
Mhm.
thing. I look like an old man when that happens.
Yeah,
I
you
really-
look like my accountant.
I just don't like that look at all. So I'm working on it though.
Hey, let's hit this break. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services.
Dude, you know who just texted me? Jonathan from Pest Pro.
Really?
Okay, you know how we talk about skeeters because it's skeeter season.
Yeah, but they're
All
coming
right.
back with a vengeance.
So all this week I've been working up there, the Airbnb on Lake Jordan,
Mhm.
Nana's Hideaway. Anyway, I'm getting eat up with skeeters. So I remember that Pest Pro has that skeeter program. So I called them up yesterday. They told me the price. They said they come about every 3 weeks. Everything's good. He's out there. He just texted me, said he's pulling up now. So I'm looking forward to that because the last thing we want is guests complaining, you got a great place, but I'm getting eat up by mosquitoes.
Right. And so they're like on top of it.
Yeah. They were there today. I called yesterday. They're there today.
So this could be termites. This could be mosquitoes. This
Termite
could be
season.
fire ants, especially like some folks think, oh, well, I'll just spray the fire ant hill. Yeah, maybe if you got like a tiny garden home.
Yeah.
But
not only that,
if you've
you're
got a
just
big
moving it.
yard, especially if you have a property with acres,
Yeah.
you can get fire ant networks that are massive
Huge.
underground.
Huge.
And you need the pros to handle that sort of thing. And oh, by the way, I want to give a special shout out.
Yeah.
Because Pest Pro stopped by the home of a certain woman, certain lady, and she was asking, "Are you Ashley?" And it wasn't Ashley, but she said, "Well, I listen and hear about you guys on the radio all the time."
Mm-hmm.
So that just made me so happy to hear. So I want to give a special shout out to Mrs. Patsy in Wetumpka.
Okay.
Pest Pro Services loved serving you. We love that, you listen to the show.
Heck yeah.
And folks, you can be like Mrs. Patsy. Be very happy. Be like Eddie here, too, as well. That number, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you can always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team there that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
The Tears family has been your local Roto-Rooter service since 1964. Drain cleaning, plumbing repair, and those troublesome septic tanks, no problem. Technology has changed a bit in the last 54 years. Video inspections of lines to locate problems is available, as well as scheduling your appointment online. River Region residents have trusted Roto-Rooter for over half a century. You can too. Call today at 272-7130 or visit online at rotorooteralabama.com.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And legal troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Hey, this is Randy and Tammy Burkhalter at Prattville Farm Center.
Hey, Randy, tell me about those hot chicks I've been hearing about.
Now, Tammy, I don't know any since we got married.
No, Randy, the baby chick.
Oh, yeah, we're getting Rhode Island Reds, Americanas, Buff Orpingtons, and about 6 other different varieties.
Plus ducks, turkeys, geese, and guineas.
Hey, and raising chickens is a great family project.
And you get to look forward to fresh eggs.
Visit Prattville Farm Center at 1154 South Memorial Drive and pick up your hot chicks today.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. So great to have Eddie back.
I would just say not every time. Not every time.
Not every time?
Not every time. Don't make the mistakes I made.
Like,
not every time.
Not every time?
Not every time. When every time free money comes into your life, not every time.
What if I win 5 Bitcoin in the Coinbase giveaway?
Dude. Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I was about to say, come on, man. Let's go to Crawdad. Hey, Crawdad.
Oh, if you win anything big with the big Bitcoin, big, yeah, Eddie knows exactly what kind of house I want you to get me, okay?
Get you? Okay. Yeah, sure.
I want an A-frame on the lake. A
circular one, though, right?
But of course. Yes, sir. Absolutely. That's a very unique concept. A round with a triangle on top. You brought up Ashley, and that reminded. It was last year when listening to your program that I created a contract taking care of bugs around the place. Very nice folks. So if you're listening and you want to talk to someone, listen to Joey there and Eddie there. They're telling you right. And I just wanted to chip in there that because it's coming up again, they're going to have, come back over here too, know. Here. I don't think they deal with crawdads crawling around, but that's all right. But the big dadgummit, the termite things that eat your house up, and you won't even know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why folks got to call Pest Pro, and I'm glad they made you happy, Crawdad.
Absolutely. And someone was talking about probiotics.
Yep.
Okay, word to the wise here. ProBiotic probiotics are good, but you have to feed the probiotic with a prebiotic called an apple.
Oh, sure.
Yes, sir.
There's all sorts of gut health is very important.
And sauerkraut is good too. Sauerkraut.
So is kimchi if you can stomach it.
Oh no!
I'm not a kimchi guy.
No kimchi. No, thank
you. Did I detect an accent?
Yes. No. I had a friend who did. Never mind. I will go away now.
See you, Crawdad. And there's a million different flavors of kimchi. I found maybe one or two.
Everybody's got their own brand. It's like, this sourdough goes back to my great grandram.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Grandpapa?
We'll be right back. Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. On Wall Street, stocks are dipping a bit higher following a three-day low. The S&P 500 was up 0.3%. It's on track for its first gain since hitting an all-time high last week. Trump Media and Technology Group continued its wild ride and shot higher again in its second day of trading. A federal appeals court has refused to lift an order that blocks Texas from arresting and deporting migrants suspected of illegally crossing the border. The law was in effect for several hours on March 19th because of a procedural order from the U.S. Supreme Court. But the court sent the case back to the appellate court for further consideration. The appellate judges blocked the law again. They're keeping the block in place as the case proceeds. The Dow had 283 points, the NASDAQ up a dozen. This is SRN News.
Biden has started tracking Christians like cattle. Yes, you heard it right. He pressured banks to tag transactions for certain keywords. One of them is Holy Bible. It's a horrifying and creepy attack on our religious freedoms. It's made possible by a digital financial system that makes you a sitting duck. But you do have other options. I recommend a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. I'm Lance Wallnow, a news analyst, a best-selling author, and evangelical leader to people who cherish their financial independence. A precious metals IRA can help you avoid the scrutiny of Biden's anti-Christian bureaucracy while also preserving your retirement savings. To find out more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see how a gold IRA can help you. Text faith to 989898. There are no strings attached. So text faith to the number 989898 right now and take action to protect your own prosperity.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. It's time to get your cooling system ready for the long, hot summer. Call today about the advantages of the Clark Club membership to be sure you're covered. Call 277-2125. Better call Clark. Alabama certification number 09098.
Hi, everybody. The weather news is getting better and better over the next several days, especially as we approach the Easter weekend. Lots of sunshine today. I've got us around 74 for the high temperature. Partly cloudy, cooler tonight, overnight low 48. Tomorrow's high up to about 69, lots of sun. And then for Easter weekend, Good Friday, high in the lower 70s. I think we'll be in the upper 70s Saturday, near or above 80 on Easter Sunday, and sunshine for several days in a row. A great forecast. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane, across from Del Rey to Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Plans for the new Capitol Heights Middle School have been released. The state-of-the-art campus was originally priced at around $37 million, but MPS has raised the cost of the project to just over $60 million. Construction for the new school is expected to be completed by 2026. Retired Judge William Shashey has been chosen to fill in for Montgomery Circuit Court Judge Johnny Hardwick, who is recovering from severe injuries. Judge Hardwick was stabbed and shot by his son, Kalfani Hardwick, in February. There have been no recent updates on Judge Hardwick's condition or status. The apartment complex that was the scene of a Saturday night rampage in which a gunman fired more than 100 rounds was already being sued by the city for neglecting its tenants. Quentin Harris was killed in the weekend shooting at Woodley Oaks Apartments. 3 other men were also shot. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our number one goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome. Second hour of the program here. I'm Joey. Eddie Bader's still here.
Heck yeah, you know why?
Why?
Surrounded by food right now, Joey. Got
I know,
ribs
dude.
to my left, strawberries to my left, and a strawberry cake to my right.
And the man who brought them
Oh,
is
yeah.
Reed
Of
Ingram.
course, Reed Ingram brought them in.
Of course, State Rep Reed Ingram, but also the proprietor there at Sweet Creek Farm Market. How you doing, Reed?
Hey, doing great. Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you for the
When you're
the
bringing
generosity.
stuff like that, you come by anytime.
Yeah. I brought you some
Anytime.
ribs, too.
Oh, my
Half a
goodness.
rack
Now,
of ribs apiece and some famous coleslaw that we make, swamp slaw.
that sounds good right now.
So,
Yeah.
you know, when you go on break, try it out.
I gotta dig
Yeah,
in.
like we're going to wait to go on break.
Because I already know about Sweet Creek. It's good.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, came in my work clothes, but we've been unloading trucks, and we're not in session this week. We've got a break, so we've
Yeah, it's
been
spring
working
break.
out at Sweet Creek. Yeah, spring break. It's nice.
Does business get busy there while
It does.
spring break?
It does for about 7 weeks because you know our spring break and then Tennessee spring break and then Missouri and Illinois and all the other northern states people come through. So it lasts about 7 weeks. You know, it's good, but it gets really old, and then we get right into summer. So
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, how would you grade this session? How do you think that's all gone?
You know, it started off really as a D or an F with the gaming bill, and I voted against it.
Yeah, tell me why. What? Because I haven't talked to you about this. My the way I approach this is I didn't think anything was actually going to get done. I think the interests in the state are so aligned that nothing ever gets done on this. But why did you really not like this bill in the House?
Well, I don't think we need casinos from one end of the state to the other end of the state, you know, up and down the interstates. It just doesn't look good. And plus it's really bad on our state. You know, it's to me, it's a tax on poor people. It's a tax on people that have addiction problems. It's a tax on, you know, people that really are looking for a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and you're never going to get it. You know, so I think there's, you know, we're in the Bible Belt. My district did not want it. I voted my district, and I'm okay to letting the people vote on a lottery, but not to vote on a lottery during our general election. You know, I
Okay.
wanted it off of that tape because we're going to lose our congressional seat, you know, if we're not careful. And if we have something on there, a lot more people, Democrats, turn out to vote for the gaming, then I think it's a given that we will lose the congressional seat.
Now, and why the pushback against what seems like a simple solution of the lottery? Let people vote in the lottery.
Well, I think the only way they're going to be able to get the people that want the gaming, you know, and that's their business. I'm not kicking them in the shin by wanting it, but that's just their district, and they're pushing their district. And so I just think that, you know, if you're going to pass casinos, you've got to have the lottery with it. Nobody in this state is going to give it a thumbs up by winning that, not unless you have the other attached to it. And I think the lottery has got to go with it. But I'm not ever going to vote for anything but giving the people a chance just to vote on the lottery.
Okay, that makes sense to me, and I think also my prediction's going to come true. I don't think the Senate and the House are going to agree on much anything.
Well, you know, the Senate passed it and sent it back to us. Started in the House, sent it back to us with just the enforcement piece, the lottery, and you know, changing the date to September.
Yep.
And that's what it needed to be. I like the vote. More than likely, if it's going to be a roll call vote, it could be a voice vote. You know, just all in favor, yay, or whatever. Depends on what the speaker wants to do, and that's his choice. He's a great guy, but I would vote to concur on what the Senate has done.
And let's go through a few more of the high-profile things that got public attention in the media real quick. Then we'll get to some of the work you're doing in particular. But say school choice did pass. What did you think of that? Did you vote for that?
You know, I voted for it. I was a no to start with until some of the amendments came on. You know, I think that the homeschool people needed to be tested. We didn't get that amendment. They're not tested now. But, you know, some of the other amendments that we put on was a good choice. I don't think what we do at a status quo in the state, being number 2 or number 3 worst education component in the union, is working. So anything that we can change that makes sense, I think we needed to do. So I was a yes on that. I started off until we could get it massaged a little bit more, and to where we're not hurting the people that are in the public school systems now and not taking a whole lot of money away from them.
And then one that got a lot of attention, especially from the other side of the aisle, is this anti-DEI, the divisive concepts bill. It
should have gone deeper than what it went. Okay. But I think that Senator Barfoot did an amazing job with it. He has brought a lot of wisdom into this district in the Senate seat. He had some big shoes to fill with Senator Brubaker leaving.
Sure.
And he has, for the last couple of years, he stepped up. But Senator Brubaker did an amazing job. But on that bill, I'm glad Senator Barfoot brought it, and we got it passed. And of course, it was straight down party lines.
Now, has there been any big surprises in the session? Like, is it kind of gone how you thought it would mostly?
You know, at the first, we went a couple of 3 weeks without passing much, just because they were holding the gaming bill up and doing some things with it. And but I think for the most part, after that third week, when we passed it, they passed it. I didn't vote for it, but you know, I think it's gone pretty much normal. You know, it's been the leadership has been doing their job and working hard, and the speaker and his staff, everything's going great.
Now, I was asking Senator Barfoot this on Monday. There seems to be a little bit of and I just want a general sense, like a little bit of a fight over how to spend transportation dollars in the state.
Yeah.
There's sort of the West Alabama idea, and then there's, I guess, Lieutenant Governor Ainsworth who wants to make 65 wider. Of course, that'll take working with the feds. But where do you see transportation in the state?
You know, I think it's prioritized in needs, and of course, 65, it's huge with people. Not only transport, you know, going back and forth to UAB, but, you know, going to jobs, economic development, day-to-day transportation. And when you have a problem on that road in between here and Birmingham, and it's problematic, you know, and so if it slows production down for economic development or slows emergency vehicles down, it's time to take a priority on that. And that's not in my district, but I would vote to be the number one priority in the state. West Alabama is, it's a hope it develops kind of thing, you know, and I think that we need to get to it, but I think it's not a top priority in my thing. I think we need to do the outer loop in Montgomery, because if Malfunction Junction 65 and 85 breaks down, and we've got so much invested in Hyundai and all
Yep.
the economic development out there, then we're in a mess if we don't have a plan B.
Is the holdup there the Fed side of the deal?
No, well, yes. I think that we had a deal pretty much done when Shelby went out.
Thought so.
And I think that the new mayor that came in did not want it because a lot of the money would be going, two of the exits would be in the town of Pike Road. And I think that's selfish. I think that it's good for our county, it's good for the state, you know,
Right.
and it's good for our city and everything. It's just like Pike Road. If I incorporated Pike Road, me and a friend of mine did back in '97. If Pike Road hadn't been here, people would be moving out of the county, and more people going to Auburn and Elmore County and such as that. But now they've had a plan B, and they're shopping in Montgomery and still spending money in Montgomery. You know,
Right.
so the tax money's still there, and so you know, I think that's a higher priority to me is safety and being able to keep the transportation as a plan B. You see what happened in Baltimore. You know, on the shipping, there's not a plan B to get shipping out of there now. And that's the same thing that could happen here on 65 and 85.
Right, and God forbid anything like that happen here in this part of the world. Now, do you expect somebody to come hat in hand and be like, well, we tried to get the bond issuance for 2 prisons. Looks like it's only going to cover one of these prison builds.
Yeah.
Like, what's your sense on where we're at with, because even if we don't want to do something like that, the feds are breathing down our neck.
Yeah, so I've got a lot to talk about on prisons.
Sure.
You know, the dollars are going up and up and up, and it's just, you know, not a whole lot of budget changes, but a lot of the products have gone up, you know, material, dirt work, pipes, the bricks and mortar, et cetera. And what we thought we were going to be able to spend 1.2 or 1.3 billion, that's almost turning into one of the prisons. We're about 900,000 now just on the one in Elmore County. So, you know, unfortunately, we're having to build new prisons because crime is going up. And it's going up because, in my opinion, of what's going on in cities like Montgomery, what's letting them go on cities in Birmingham and et cetera. And I'm not pointing any fingers, but we are not doing enough on deterring. You know, when there's a crime committed in Montgomery, Alabama, a murder or a felon, the county tries them, the city doesn't. The county tries them, and we house them after that. So the city doesn't have any skin in the game. So why deter crime? You know, but it's huge. And I think I'm working on some stuff, and I'll tell you about a bill maybe after the next break when we come back.
Sure.
But I think that the cities ought to be held accountable when it reaches a certain height. You know, when you're down police officers, you know, they're over 200 short in Montgomery. I don't know the exact number, probably 250, but throwing money at it may not be the answer. It may be the leadership, and that may not be the money, because a lot of people left knowing they were making that kind of money, and they didn't leave to go to higher money. They went to better working conditions.
Right. And to communities all around
That's
Montgomery.
right. That's right. And the sheriff department doesn't have any openings.
said,
They didn't
yep.
the other day. They're full. And it's kind of strange that the city of Montgomery is so vacant, almost, 34% short, and the county's not short.
Right, and it is a big problem. But how about this? We'll hit this break, and we'll come back, continue to talk about, a bill you have on this issue, and also many other projects you've been working on, and particular folks focused on the labor participation rate, or the lack of participation
That's
in this
like
state.
of.
And we'll get into that in a second. Before the break, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, well, fellas, 2 things happen as we get older. One can be erectile dysfunction. It is what it is. Or low testosterone, a more general problem. And these are not anything to deny, put off. Don't be embarrassed about it. And I know guys, I'm one of them, don't like going to the doctor. Like, I'm fine. I'll just keep working. But, Montgomery Men's Health was created to take care of guys just like us. So if you're noticing, in particular when it comes to low T, a lack of motivation, energy, you're always tired, perhaps unwanted weight gain, loss of muscle mass, even a decrease in sex drive, just feel like you're walking through your life in a fog. Well, whether or not you have low T is huge in combating some of these issues. You at least need to know whether or not it's low T. So the providers there at Montgomery Men's Health will conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99. And they have low T treatments there that can truly change lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym.
Brother.
That's right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism, usually even notice an increased libido. And, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
You can actually book the same day that you call. Guys, it's time to feel amazing and hit your goals this year. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing the providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Madness is happening right now. But the real action is happening at Toyota of Montgomery. Score our biggest Toyota savings of the year. That's on our biggest selection of new Toyotas in stock. Like the game-winning 2024 Camry, now $299 a month. Trade in your old car. No matter what it is, no matter where you got it, we'll give you up to $2,000 over book value for it. And they're here. The Toyota of Montgomery All-Stars. Shop and save thousands on our certified pre-owned Toyotas. They're just like new Toyotas, even come with a warranty, but cost thousands less. Want in on the action? Hurry before it all ends March 31st. Dribble down to Toyota of Montgomery online at toyotamontgomery.com. Part of the Sutherland Automotive Group. Camry LE MSRP $30,958. 12,000 miles per year for 36 month leases with 3638 due at signing. $0 security deposit with accrued credit. Trade value is based on excessive wear, tear, and mileage, plus tax, tag, title, and $9.95 doc fee. Offer ends 4/1/2024.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Break it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm Joey, and Eddie's still here.
I'm here, buddy.
And also State Representative Rita Ingram in the studio with us. And where we left off, we were talking about the issue of crime. And normally crime is thought of as a city municipal function. It can be the county, too.
Right.
But there is and can be a role for the state, and you have an idea about this.
Well, you know, I've been toying this bill around for a couple of years, have not filed it. I've been working out all the kinks, trying to get everybody happy with it, to where it's going to make a difference, you know. But, you know, when a crime is committed, a felony is committed in the city, then the county is responsible to try them, and the state is responsible for housing them. The city doesn't have any skin in the game whatsoever. So if there's X amount of murders, no worry to them as far as financially. They're concerned about their bad press and safety of their citizens.
Sure.
But there's no financial burden on the city when there's a crime committed, because we, the state, have to house them for as long as they're, and then probation, we do the probation, we do it all. So from the time they're found guilty until the time they're let out off of parole or whatever the case may be, then we're dollars wise, the state taxpayers pay that. And so what this bill would do, instead of dropping them off to their mom and daddy when they get caught shoplifting or breaking into a car, these juveniles, then we would take them and they would be mandatory to spend 24 hours in a confined area in the youth facility. And then the only way they could bail out would be from a guardian, not a gang member, not a friend, or not just a friend of the family or whatever. It had to be a guardian. And in that time that we're holding them, they're mandatory to spend a 2-hour intervention with a state trooper. So there's a class in the morning, there'll be a class in the morning and a class in the afternoon. We've got to get a handle on these juveniles, because they become, if they get away with one crime, they think they can get away with anything. And that's what happened. That's what's happening. That way we can track this child and make sure that they're in school, see if they get a repeat. They come back, if they get picked up the next time, they have to come back again. And then we'll have to look at more consequences.
So the facilities are already there for
the facilities are there. Back in the 80s, the state helped the county build these youth facilities. And so the detention facility is there. It's out on the west side of Montgomery. And these 5 counties would have these detention facilities already in place. The only thing we would have to put in place is, I know we're short on state troopers, but maybe we can bring some retired guys back. And that's where all your wisdom is anyway. And let them teach the class 5 to 6 days a week, one morning class, one afternoon class.
Because, again, just to reiterate the point, there are kids breaking into cars, doing all sorts of things that aren't murder, though you see that with teenagers as well, unfortunately, in our dear city. And doesn't it start that way, where it starts with petty crime, even if you want to call it petty crime, and then it can end up with something even worse?
And there's a lot of things that are in elements, and a lot of it is at home, but you can't blame it on that anymore. We have a lot of programs that we do for schools and tutoring and to be able to catch a net on that. And I think a lot of these kids, it's just escalated since COVID. And I think the net has got a bigger hole in it, and these kids are falling out off to the side. They need help, and they're not getting it at home. And we need to find a problem and being able to deter crime and not just build more prisons. I think there needs to be tough penalties as they're a juvenile.
Well, and that makes sense to me. 272-9228 if you have a comment or question for Representative Reed Ingram. Let's go to Red Top, who's been patient. Hey, Red Top, how you doing?
Joey, I appreciate you getting Reed on the show, because I was needing to call him in a few minutes.
Hey, Red Top, I got a bucket of strawberries here for you that when next time I see you, you come get them.
Those look good.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good, Reed. And we'll take care of your restaurant next week.
Thank you, brother.
All right. Good deal.
Hey, thank you.
Joey. Thank you, Joey. I appreciate that. Next time I need to talk to a customer, I'm just going to call the regular.
Thank you for your friendship.
Country.
Thank you for your friendship, my friend.
Well, I do too. Are there still truancy laws in effect, or are these all canceled and nobody enforces them anymore?
Such as?
Truancy. A kid not going to school.
Yeah, so nobody enforces it, I don't think. Used to when, and Daryl Bailey does a good job with that, but his hands are full. Ellen used to do a great job with it. But since COVID, I think, and homeschool has gotten so popular, I think that there's a big piece of being able to capture that child. When you were out on the street and you were 15, 16 years old, when we were growing up, a police officer would pull off on the side of the road
to you
and want to know why you're not in school. And I think
right.
that needs to come back.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think we need to get back to that. I think they need to have a school ID with them, and I think the police officers need to be more. They're supposed to be out there for public safety and everything. So I think that that's something that we need to be able to have more accountability on of these kids, because that's our future. And another thing that we're fixing to talk about is participation rate in the job place. And we have a huge vacancy, and I think a lot of our people out there are being taught not to work and how they can get benefits. And I think we got to work on that as well. But that's just, if they don't made to go to school, they're not programmed to stay in a schedule. They're just out there on the street. And I think that's part of the element that we're missing.
Oh yeah, because that's the young group from bottom up, and there used to be dedicated truancy officers when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Of course, I went to Catholic school, and I didn't dare skip school. If you want to be scared, have a Dominican nun chasing you with a ruler.
Yep. You're
Roll
exactly.
Tide, go Trump.
Right.
That's Joey.
No, but I've told you this before. By the time I went to Catholic, the nuns were gone. Well, there's still nuns around, but they weren't teachers or enforcers.
They weren't chasing you with a ruler?
No. And plus, I was very good. I didn't start cutting up till I was in college. Like, I was a very good boy for way too long. I'll put it that
There you
way.
go.
Let's hit another break so we got plenty of running
Hey,
room.
let me say this, Red Top, if I appreciate what you do. If anybody needs anything painted, that is the best painter I have ever run across in my career.
He's a
great guy.
pretty good musician,
And he's
too.
honest.
Yeah,
He's a great musician. So I leave my place open to Sweet Creek. He comes in at night, takes care of it. He's a great guy, super good guy.
We got
Thank you for your friendship.
All types of folks calling into
Yeah.
this show. You never know who's going to be. But got to hit this break so we have plenty of time to talk about the labor participation in the state or lack thereof. First, though, this part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And you've been working with them some, right, Ed?
I have. In fact, they've got a client of mine right now. This past Sunday, they wanted to put an offer on a house. Now, most mortgage companies are not open on Sunday, but Madeline is. And so Madeline was able to get their pre-approval letter written to them for Sunday, so we put an offer in that day.
Wow.
Most banks will not do that for you. That's why I love Madeline and Kim. Absolutely adore them.
Well, this is great it's so many of our sponsors. It's locally owned folks that are invested in the community. And so they actually get to know you and can understand your concerns. It's not like you're dealing with a website or a 1-800 number.
Exactly.
And not only do they get to know you, they get to understand why you're trying to own a home, or maybe you're looking to refinance. There are a lot of folks looking to refinance. When you look at the average APR on credit cards, if you're running behind, 29% is a heck of a lot to pay.
Horrible.
Yeah, and so if you've got to get out from under credit card debt, or maybe you want to reinvest in your home or your family, it's your money, it's your equity you built up. Alabama Home Mortgage can help you with a great refinance deal, and this is especially true whether you're buying or refining with veterans. They know the latest with the VA home loan programs there at Alabama Home Mortgage, and this is the best game in town. If you're a veteran and if you've not taken advantage of these benefits you earned through your service, well, Kim and Madeline there at Alabama Home Mortgage can help you out. So call them today, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies, like Kim and Madeline proved that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
Honey?
Yeah?
Do you think it's safe using all these extension cords?
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Actually, too many extension cords can be dangerous. Call Crosby Electric to add new outlets.
Sure is dark in our yard.
Good, we'll sleep better.
Maybe you will.
Crosby Electric does landscaping lighting for beauty and safety, as well as security lighting for peace of mind.
Oh, darn. The vacuum cleaner just tripped a breaker.
Honey, never vacuum while I'm making popcorn.
Tripping breakers can indicate a potential fire hazard. You really should have it checked out by Crosby Electric, serving the River Region for almost 50 years.
Sweetheart, are you ever afraid that lightning could damage our electrical system?
Afraid? Oh, come on. No. Maybe we should call Crosby. You know, just give him a call.
Full house surge protection can protect you and your possessions. For an assessment and for all your electrical needs, call Crosby Electric 272-2085 or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka.
If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Hi, everybody. The weather news is getting better and better over the next several days, especially as we approach the Easter weekend. Lots of sunshine today. I've got us around 74 for the high temperature. Partly cloudy, cooler tonight, overnight low 48. Tomorrow's high up to about 69, lots of sun. And then for Easter weekend, Good Friday, high in the lower 70s. I think we'll be in the upper 70s Saturday, near or above 80 on Easter Sunday, and sunshine for several days in a row. A great forecast. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Check out our special spring savings on Kubota zero-turn mowers, like the Kubota Z411. At 10 miles an hour, it makes cutting around bushes, beds, and trees a breeze. Powering Alabama. Capital Tractor, Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. My name's Joey Clark. Again, we have Eddie and State Representative Reed Ingram here in the studio. Now, where we left off, and this is something you've been really working on this session, is the labor force participation rate here in Alabama. So where are we at and what's causing the problem?
Well, it's a lot of things. You know, it's not just one thing. I can name a couple of them that are probably the lower hanging fruit, but, you know, the participation rate is hovering around 47%. Participation rate of non-participation, I mean.
Mhm.
So, you know, between ages of like 24 to 63, and that's huge. Now, back in 19, we were the 5th best in the union. So you could blame it on COVID, but you can't. Everybody was on the same playing field during
Right.
COVID. So now we're in the worst 5, probably worst 6, or one of the worst. And I think that, you know, a lot of people looked at COVID in this state and maybe looked at how they could get out of the workforce and maybe get on government programs, giveaway programs. Maybe the salary went up for your spouse, and maybe you can stay at home without working because the salaries did go up, you know, and benefits went up. So, you know, there's a lot of different things, whether it be childcare, whether it be transportation, whether it be housing. There's a lot of different things out there, you know, but is the government going to be able to get into it and mandate some things? I think that's bad, you know, to mandate that you've got to go to work or you've got to do this. I think that it's a culture thing. When we were growing up, in my generation, my daddy taught me how to work, and he worked, you know, 6 days a week, go to church on Sunday. And he's 90 and he still works 6 days a week and goes to church on Sunday. And same way with his brother that runs Jack Inger Motors is 91 and he works 5 days a week, you know, so they all work. That generation, and in my generation, and then as we got past COVID, the younger ones, I employ close to 80 employees. And it seemed like after COVID, a lot of these younger kids, 16, 17, would come apply for a job in their pajamas, you know, or not look you in the eye, and no social skills. And, you know, why do you want a job? Oh, my parents want me to have a job. Well, I don't hire you if your parents want you to have a job. I want you to have a job in your heart, or you want to work in your heart.
Right.
So a lot of that is gone, you know, because we sat at home for so long, but every state had that same problem. But I think what we need to do is look at what we've dropped, you know, on some crumbs, and being able to help put the tools in the toolbox. I think I've got a bill that's dropped to give a tax credit to employers for childcare. And that would be, you know, a minimum deduction, a 50% deduction of whatever that childcare is, with a cap. And being able to help the ladies, the women, get back into the workplace in case there's a handicap with that childcare, they can't go back. And so little things like that. But, you know, we've taken off, last year, we took off the deductions on overtime. And we thought that was going to cost us about 60 million, maybe 70 million. Well, now we're at about 140 to 150 million. So we got to be careful when we take stuff off. because it's harder to take it away. But physical note, we had no idea, no tools in the toolbox to figure out what the overtime was because it was all lumped into one. And so now when we do stuff like childcare, we can't do 100% because we don't know what the physical note is. You know, we've got to be able to leave the oxygen mask on us as a state to be able to provide services. We need to not raise taxes, but we don't need to deduct them and get us below where we can, you know, not build prisons or not have the law enforcement that we need. We've got to provide the services because that's what those taxes are for. We've got to provide the services for all the citizens. So, you know, when we got to be cautious about taking stuff away, like the 1 cent sales tax on groceries, that's great. Let's take a little bit of time, and it's got guardrails. I think that was a great start. Start taking baby steps. But this bill, I think, is going to help the workplace for the women to be able to get back in. And then I've got another bill that's probably going to be controversial, but we have found that in the workforce for illegals in 2010, before I was there, the state passed a bill to where if you're illegal, you cannot go to college in the state of Alabama. We got to mark that place for our citizens that are, you know, that are citizens of the United States, and not only that, but of our state. Well, we've also found a leak in some of these counties that to where these illegals that have mandated we have to let them go K through 12 to go to school, that now if they've applied for legal status and they've gone K through 12 and they've been here all those years and they've applied for legal status, they still can't go to college even though they're going to pay for it themselves. So now they're going across the state, out of the state to Florida or wherever, Tennessee or whatever. All of our sistering states allow them to go to college. So we're losing those, even though we're getting a higher population. We got to build a wall. We got to keep them out. By God, they're here. So what in the heck are we going to do with them? We've put them through K through 12 to where we, the taxpayers, the federally mandated to put them through, and now they want to pay for their own college. We ought to let them if they've applied for legal status. So that's one of the bills that we've got out of this committee that we're gonna look at and see what the body wants to do. But there's some smaller ones, you know, that are going to make a little difference. But we can't mandate people. That's one of the things we stand for in this country. We don't need to mandate anybody to do anything. But it's a culture thing, and these people in these churches and some of these places are not encouraging us biblically to work and teach our kids to work. And I don't think that's being taught in some of our areas. You know?
Right. Oh, yeah. And there is a movement of folks. Did you see Bernie Sanders wanted to turn it to a 32-hour work week without loss of pay? And I'm like,
I generally work, my average work week is about 87 to 92 hours a week, 7 days a week. Now, I think that's a little much, but I think that we need to set a good pace for our kids out there.
Right.
And I'm comfortable. I'm not killing myself. I enjoy what I do. Right. And I think that's part of what you do, you know. You've got to be comfortable and you've got to enjoy what you do to be able to have your heart in it to do a good job for your employer.
And getting into this job, I thought, especially now just doing the noon to 3 show, I'm only working 15 hours a week. Right. No, that's not how this works. I always have homework. Always have homework. Now, going back to, in particular on the overtime thing, I'm more digging to the logic here, and not just on overtime, but a principle. We're giving incentives. We're trying to give incentives, whether it's to a worker to work more or a company to hire more. And just to give back what you were saying, it seems to me that you don't want to give away the store. You don't mind offering a carrot, but you don't want to give away the store. Right. How do we square that? Because it sounds like some companies would take advantage of people that were already working, and now they're getting a bunch of money for folks who were already working.
So here was a problem. Let's take Hyundai, for example. Hyundai had just a minimum of employees, what they were working with. And so this worker didn't want to work any hours because he works 10 hours over. The rate goes up, they take more out of him. So why do I work? Because I'm only going to end up with $100 more instead of, if I don't do it, I may get $400 more. So I'm going to rather sit on the couch and watch TV, you know, and just work that overtime. So the production was down. They were not being able to get their production out and build the cars fast enough, and et cetera, et cetera. So we had to find something. But when we passed that bill, I didn't sponsor that bill, and I had reservations on it. I wanted to put guardrails, or I thought about doing it. I didn't bring it because it had overwhelming bipartisan support. But you got to look at and play it out. if you think it's something that's going to be big like that, put a sunset on it for 5 years, or take out half of the deductions, you know, and then you can always add, but you can't take away. Once you pass something like that, just like the 1 cent sales tax off of groceries, that's a good thing. But if we had taken it off and we had to go back and put part of it on, if we'd taken it all off, and education would have been problematic on funding, then you would have had some mad people out there. You would have been an SOB for raising taxes, you know?
Right. And so you're saying let's be careful before we bleed out a little too much. Though I'm in the camp of I always love a tax cut read. So
there you go. Oh, I agree. I mean, all about it. But you got to maintain those services without adding more cost on it. You can't just build roads and build prisons. You've got to have attrition on that side to be good stewards of the taxpayers' dollars. But you can't give away the farm and not provide the services.
Now, with the illegal immigrants that are here, that again, just giving back what you said to me, K through 12, we're already paying for it. That's mandated. They have to be of legal status or seeking legal status.
That's right. They had to apply for legal status.
Okay.
And you had to go to school in the States.
Okay.
You have to go to school. Nobody that's coming over the border is going to be able to go to our college. I think that was great. But now that we've paid to educate them, the taxpayers, and now they want to go on and contribute back as a good citizen, and they've invested instead of just living here illegally. They've invested and applied for legal status. Let them go to school before they become a criminal. Let them help in our economic development, and all of that we need help in.
Now, when you look generally at your district, and just we can even spread out beyond your district, just central Alabama, like when I look at the state, I mean, there's times, Reed, where I say to like the senators, like Tuberville and Britt, like all the people and all the money's up north in the state. Why are you even talking to me? I appreciate they do. But how do we get more growth and development in the middle part of this state?
And we're working on it. You know, a lot of times it's done by, and we've got a good leadership. I don't want to say this is what's wrong with our problem in the House and the Senate, but we've got a lot of leadership in the House from North Alabama,
right?
And but now the Speaker is doing a great job of making sure that Central Alabama and South Alabama is taken care of. The new Speaker that we've got, Nathaniel Ledbetter, is doing a great job. I appreciate his leadership, and I support him. Now, in the past, there's been a lot of, a lot of people that were there before, and we wasn't getting that kind of leadership here. But now with me chairing 2 committees and Barfoot chairing committees and on, we don't see anything going. Now, there are more needs in Madison County with being in Huntsville and all of that Redstone Arsenal. There are more infrastructure needs, and I get it, and that's a priority.
Sure.
But, other parts they're looking at as a fair playing ground.
Well, and how would you, because you're doing your part. You said you employ 80 people?
I employ 80 people.
So, but how, you're talking about the generational change. How would you describe the change in this this part of the state, this part of the world, over the last few decades? Because I'd imagine there's been some good and bad when we look at it. But it seems to me like everything has sort of spread out. To me, if the river region could work together, like if there really was some synergy, I know folks are working on it, but there really was some synergy between all the communities around here, I think we could really go gangbusters.
And I think you're right. I think what has been a competition between Elmore County, Montgomery County, City of Montgomery, Wetumpka, and I don't think there's a whole lot of it's more of a competition to them. Hey, I don't want you coming over here in my territory. Hey, I'm lost these people to you. And it's kind of like there's no, but I think with me and Barfoot bleeding over into Elmore County and I think Senator Barfoot represents 5 different counties, but I think it's better now than what it was. And Senator Brubaker did a great job when he was there as well.
Absolutely. Well, and I'm running out of time here because we got to talk to Michael Cohen here in a second.
Right.
But
and I do want to talk about Brubaker.
That's where I want to go right now.
Yeah.
So what do you make of this runoff race? I'm interviewing both candidates every week leading up to the runoff, but I know you're very much in the camp of former Senator Brubaker.
Yeah.
Why do you think he's the best man for the job?
Well, he's proven. I don't know that he's ever raised taxes. They're saying that he raised taxes. They say he's against Trump. That is not true at all. I've known Brubaker in the car business. I've been in the car business. I've known him. He helped me with my campaign when I came in 04. He helped me in 14. And I've known him as a friend. I've known him as a business person. And I don't know of anybody else, any stronger ethics that's in the car business or in politics than Brubaker. He has been a friend, and I described him the other day when we were talking as the most solid politician I have ever met in this area. He is, when he tells you something, that's the way it's going to be. If he tells you he's going to pass something or stop something, that's the way it's going to be. He has this ability of working with other politicians without a compromise, and he is just as strong as he can be. And the other lady that's running, I don't know her. She's never came to see me, but I wouldn't support anybody but Brubaker just because I know his record, and he's a great guy, and he's not there for the money. He's got plenty of it, and he's not there for the glory. And when I came in 14, Brubaker was there, and he helped me with some stuff, and I helped him with some stuff, and it's always been straight up. I mean, always been straight up. And he says, Reed, never go out to these gatherings at night, drinking and all this stuff. And he never would, and I never would. I don't drink. I've never seen him out partying. He's not there for the glory or travel or nothing like that. He's there to make this country a better country, and he made this state a better state. And he is a good man, and I would carry his word any way I could.
Well, and that's a heck of an endorsement. I don't really do endorsements, but I'll just say this. I can't argue with anything you said. I think everything says pretty true right there. So, but I appreciate your time today. We got to do this on a more regular basis.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
And thank you for the cake and the ribs and the strawberry, all this stuff.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for y'all's friendship. Thank you for what you do about educating everybody in the River Region. I mean, it's y'all do a great job. It's not a better show out there.
Oh, thank you, Reed.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Well, we got to hit this break. We'll have Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances on the other side.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
May the odds be ever in your favor as you embark on Prattville Carpet's Mohawk Money Hunt. Somewhere within the city limits of Prattville is the Prattville Carpet Troll Doll. Find it and bring it to Prattville Carpet to win $1,000 in cash. Clues will randomly be dropped every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the Prattville Carpet Facebook page or at prattvillecarpet.com. So monitor both to hear the clues fast, find the troll, and be $1,000 richer. Get the gameplay details anytime at prattvillecarpet.com or the Prattville Carpet Facebook page.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I like that shirt.
Oh, yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
Somebody asked me about it today.
What'd they ask?
Who is Joe Bird Productions? And I gave them a little history about it, and they were touched.
Oh, they were touched.
They were very touched by that, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, that might be an official thing before too long here.
Excellent.
Let's go to Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Hey, how are y'all?
Pretty good.
It's great to have Eddie back. That's what I'll say.
Man, it is great to have Eddie back. Look at you. You only have to work half as hard.
Oh, my goodness. This you know this joker I work with, Michael. Like, it's just...
I know.
What a mess.
Maybe you have to work twice as hard when he's there.
Maybe. There are times, yeah. There are times.
Nah, he's become a good friend. What am I saying? Hey, let's talk about, it seems to be all the rage these days. You've had folks stopping by about these Speed Queen products. I think we need to keep pounding the table about them. This is really great stuff.
It is great stuff. I mean, it's one of the few companies that is built in America for your laundry. That's all they do is laundry. Not only are they commercial laundry, but they also have some cool features for your residential to help get rid of your pet hair that gets all over your clothes or your blankets. So, but they've been making the same kind of washer and dryer since the 80s. It looks like the 80s. It's built like a tank. They use a lot of steel. They don't hardly use any of the plastic parts. They use less parts. The units weigh more. They're engineered to last 25 years. They make 3 different levels. One level gets a 3-year warranty, one gets a 5, and one gets a 7. But they are great units. Super fast wash cycle. I think they can do a wash cycle starting at about 26 to 28 minutes. So you can do a lot of laundry if you have a lot of kids.
Yeah, you're right. And you want something that works. And whether somebody buys a Speed Queen or any of your other great appliances, electronics there, y'all have, well, you deliver confidence because y'all essentially have people's back if something goes wrong.
That's right. That's right. We have our own service people. We've got 3 people in our customer service to help schedule the calls and keep up with deliveries. But we'll come out there, we'll do the repair. If there's something that we need to get with the manufacturer on to help facilitate something above and beyond what their warranty states, we're happy to do that. And so that's what we try to do, and that's why we're here. And you can talk to one of the customer service people. Sometimes I get the call, sometimes David gets a call when they need some extra help. But we're here to take care of you, and we try to do the right thing.
So, folks, you can always go to thinkcohens.com and see what they got going on just from the comfort of your home, thinkcohens.com. But I really do encourage you to stop by the Eastern Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. When you stop by, find Michael, find one of the team members, be like, hey, we heard Michael on the radio. That's
right.
why we're here.
That's what they say. And some of them even say I need to practice it. So that I can be better.
Everybody's a critic, Michael.
They said Joey sounds really good, but you need to work on your stuff.
Yep.
People, man. well, I appreciate your time as always, Michael. Really do.
All right.
Hey, bud.
Have a great day.
You too, man.
Like that guy. Hey, we got just a few minutes left. Have we learned anything today? We're going to check again later in the show, but have we learned anything? Well, we learned some stuff from reading.
I learned these ribs are smelling really good, Joey.
Yeah, the top of the hour.
Really smelling good.
Yeah, I think we need some of that. Well, and I did learn some stuff. I did not know about the labor problems in this state in that regard, in terms of participation.
I knew it was low, but I didn't realize it was that low.
Right.
But my big thing is root cause. Why? I mean, everybody's got to have money, right? But if I can make $60,000 a year going to work, busting my butt, or I can make $40,000 a year sitting at home waiting on a check.
Right.
Human nature's kicking in, folks.
Yeah, and it's not like you're doing radio work. It's like working out at Hyundai, breaking your back, literally. You're going to go with the sit on the couch and make 40 a lot of the time.
I'm just telling you, a lot of people have that option. And I'm like Reed. I think we need to figure out what's going on with that. I think some bills have been passed that with good intent, but the outcomes were not what they expected.
And largely with the legislative session, that nothing has happened that's made me blow a gasket by any means.
No, not this go around, huh?
Well, I've been a little surprised. I always want them to cut more, but they, I get that. There's things I can't control. I gotta control my own expectations, I suppose.
Yeah, cut more. Always good to cut more.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you're on the overtime bill. Man, when I worked at Hyundai, literally 55% of my salary was overtime.
Overtime, huh?
Yeah, and that's how it worked. That's just how that program worked. You could make as much money as you wanted, but as much as you wanted to show up. And we'd have guys. Our 12-hour shifts were standard, but it was not uncommon to see people pull 24-hour shifts.
That's not safe. It's not
We're
healthy.
talking about safe. We're talking about making money.
I'm just saying, like, if y'all make a mistake out there, people get hurt or killed.
Yes, they do.
Ugh. Hey, you want to get into the whole UAW? Governor Ivan, I'm tired of UAW trying. Come down here and take the money from the workers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, though I hear all these politicians, like, and I'm not surprised, they're very conservative, and I kind of agree with them about when I look at unions as a historical thing.
Sure.
But do they have really any say in this at the end of the day?
My thing is, and I've thought long and hard about it, just like with UAW and Hyundai, I'm not there anymore.
Right.
When I was there, it was my number one. It was a cause. Right now, I have no dog in that fight. I have my thoughts, and that's it. But I don't deserve to say that they need a Hyundai or need a union no more than somebody says they don't.
No, and it is funny, beyond just that issue, like, people listen to us. It's like, this is the way a lot of the world works. Like, who's paying you?
It is. But what kills
It's
me...
like, hey, I ain't getting paid enough to really be.
What kills me about unions is some people are anti-union, but then you look at them, they're in a union.
Right.
Or there's unions that are forced upon us by the state that we have to buy.
The public sector ones. Yeah,
Thank you.
That's interesting.
Is that not a union?
Yeah. Sugar, that's the teachers. Ain't that right,
It ain't just the teachers, Joey.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says it's too soon to say how long it will take to reopen the Port of Baltimore or replace the destroyed Francis Scott Key Bridge. Buttigieg noted at a White House news conference that the bridge took 5 years to construct. Ukrainian officials say Russia has struck the northeastern city of Kharkiv with aerial bombs for the first time since 2022, killing at least one civilian and wounding 16 others. The airstrikes caused widespread damage, hitting several residential buildings and damaging the city's Institute for Emergency Surgery. Russia has escalated its attacks on Ukraine in recent days, launching several missile barrages on the capital, Kyiv. On Wall Street, the Dow had 305 points, the Nasdaq adding 36. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. We've helped over 30,000 families out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. If your timeshare agreement goes on forever, if you were told timeshares are a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, you have questions, we have the answers. At Wesley Financial Group, we're dedicated to helping timeshare owners get out of their financial nightmare. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-256-5533. That's 800-256-5533. 800-256-5533. Rich Thomas weather brought to you by H&H Carpets, where you will find a complete line of Mohawk carpet with exceptionally clean, smart strand fiber. It's always available and ready to be installed. H&H Carpets, across from Walmart on the Atlanta Highway.
Hi, everybody. The weather news is getting better and better over the next several days, especially as we approach the Easter weekend. Lots of sunshine today. I've got us around 74 for the high temperature. Partly cloudy, cooler tonight, overnight low 48. Tomorrow's high up to about 69, lots of sun. And then for Easter weekend, Good Friday, high in the lower 70s. I think we'll be in the upper 70s Saturday, near or above 80 on Easter Sunday, and sunshine for several days in a row. A great forecast. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Whether you're buying a home or auto or consolidating debt, CB&S Bank's personal loans get you where you need to go. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you or apply online today. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
1819 News.
The Alabama Secretary of State, Wes Allen, has released a warning about mailers that are going out to Alabamians. Allen says a misleading, unsolicited mass mailing will include pre-filled voter registration forms in them. Allen says that the mailers are coming from two out-of-state groups, Voter Participation Center and the Center for Voter Information. Allen says this effort is only going to cause confusion in the state and is a targeted partisan interference within the state elections. The two groups claim that they're only seeking to bring democracy to underrepresented populations like people of color, youth, and unmarried women. Allen said that Alabamians should be assured that his office is capable of handling an influx of voter registrations that may result from these mailers, and he does admit that a pre-filled form is not currently illegal. However, he says that often they're pre-filled with inaccurate or outdated data regarding the voter. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Covenant Rescue Group seeks to directly support organizations and agencies that are fighting the global battle against human trafficking. They do this through funding, procuring, and advocating. You can go to covenantrescue.org for further details. They need your donations, guys. Hop on and donate.
A Chinese woman who was arrested in 2021 for setting fire to a Montgomery church is now sentenced for arson. Jacqueline Yan is an illegal alien from China who will now spend 8.5 months in prison for the fires that she set at First Baptist Church in Montgomery. Prosecutors say that Yan had multiple encounters with church staff before the start of that fire in October. Yan was also charged with possession of an illegal firearm. 33-year-old Justin Hammer of Northport was named the 2024 champion of the Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Classic. Hammer reeled in 58 pounds and 3 ounces of fish over a 3-day tournament that was on Grand Lake in Oklahoma and takes home a grand prize of $300,000. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better Business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Did I get all the barbecue sauce and rib meat off me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're looking good. I forgot we're going on video. I should have let you carry a little sauce over.
Yeah, I was trying to wipe it away. I'm sure I got a little extra flavor in the beard here.
That's for later.
Yeah.
That's for later.
Yeah, I'm not going to be licking it on air.
No, of course not.
Shouldn't be licking it anyway. Hey, let's go to Bob.
All
Hey,
right.
Bob, how you doing?
What's on your mind, Bob?
All right. How you guys doing today?
All righty.
It was disappointing. Night before last, I lost listening to one of my favorite television hosts, and that would be Jesse Waters.
Mm-hmm.
The guy kind of lost it with somebody, and he used God's name in vain on TV, and I said, that's it. I can't tolerate someone with that coming out of their mouth. So
Wait, did he say GD or GD?
No, he said the word. He said the word.
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah, I'm not going to say the word.
He said the word, and they kind of caught him off guard. I mean, it was impulsive. He hadn't planned to say what he had said, but it came out of his mouth, which was even worse. He's suppressing that he uses that kind of language, and I hate it because he was the most entertaining one of the evening lineup, and I enjoyed him because, again, he put some levity in his program that I enjoyed, but man, my spirit was stabbed when he said that. I said, "Oh, come on, Jesse, you don't have to do that on TV."
Though, keep in mind, I think that guy's New York through and through. I think there's a cultural difference in terms of curse words. There really is. Like, I know for a fact, you say GD down here, you got a big problem with a lot of folks. Whereas up north, especially in New York City, it's kind of a throwaway. And I'm sure we've got things we say if other ears from around the country perk up. Well, what the hell?
Right.
Very true. Very true.
And my intelligent wife had some input. She said, "I think Jesse's Catholic, and Catholics can say a lot, and then go to the priest and get
Forgot about that part
of it, so they can move on."
Forgot about that part.
Anyway.
Forgive me, Father, what I continue to do.
Yeah, right. So,
I don't think that's how repentance works.
Yeah. My brother used to be in the military, and he said most Catholics would party, but they would be at Mass on Sunday morning, no matter how bad a night they'd have. They would be at Mass. Anyway, anyway, you guys are doing a great job. Just keep being positive. There are a few positive things on the horizon, thankfully. We're not dealing with all negativity, so y'all just keep bringing the positive out on the air for us. Success to you, and have a great day.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Now, Eddie, have you seen the new kickoff that the NFL's going to have? They essentially stole it from the XFL.
Yeah. They've stolen so much from the XFL. It's not even fun.
Well, but do you think this is a good idea? Because here's the logic, folks. They changed it to where it is now, where essentially every kickoff goes into the end zone.
Yeah.
It's just a touchback every time because there are too many injuries from the high-speed collision.
Getting soft. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, and also they made this new rule where you can't do the hip drop tackle.
Yeah, we are switching over slowly to flag football. That's where we're going.
Like, what the heck is that?
Flag football, buddy.
Like, you can't grab somebody by the hips around the waist and fall down.
No.
A lot of defenders are like, what the H is this?
How is this football? Right. How is this football?
I can somewhat understand the things you control, like the blind side hits, these sorts of things.
I get it.
It was unnecessary. But a lot of these guys are little, as my dad said when he worked or played at Jeff Davis, went to Jeff Davis. That boy ain't quick. He's sudden. Like that guy's sudden. I got it. Get him down however I can.
A lot of times, all you can do is just put your weight on him and just ride him down to the ground. That's all you can do.
Can you imagine having to tackle the guy I always think of old players, but I loved watching Mike Allstott.
Oh yeah, geez, he's a beast.
Like, how do you tackle that guy that's not a hip drop like a weight? Come on.
Did you ever watch any?
Or Jerome Bettis is another big one.
Yeah, no, he's the beast. But interviews with Allstott, not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
No. No, he's pretty, though. He's a pretty man, and he was a big dude. He could knock you over.
I remember the first couple of interviews, I thought, is he got brain injury?
Though that Buccaneers team that I fell in love with, Derek Brooks, brilliant guy. Brooks, I think, got his MBA, is running his own business. John Lynch, very clever, smart fella.
What about
Warren Sapp's been great.
What about y'all's old quarterback? Got knocked out this past weekend.
Which one?
Vince, was it Vince Young?
No, Jameis Winston was on the Bucs. No. I don't think Vince Young played for the Bucs.
I thought he did. You sure? I thought he did.
No, Sean King was one guy. He was too short, kept getting balls batted down. Then I think we had when we won the Super Bowl with Gruden, Brad Johnson, the old.
How tall was that guy, John?
Like 5'10". That's short for a quarterback. I'm short for a quarterback. For an NFL quarterback? You don't.
That's why you go play the CFL like Flutie.
Unless you're Doug Flutie, and then you're Sutton, and then you can. But here, let me pull it up on the stream. This is going to be the new kickoff because they're tired of touchbacks, but they also don't want the injuries to come back. So it's almost like the
XFL.
The defense
It's
team.
literally the XFL.
I'll describe it for folks who aren't looking. The defense team is lined up. So the kicker's on the 30-yard line, opposite. And then on the same side of the field, on the receiving side, you have the receiving team blockers on the 30-yard line. You have the defense, like kickoff team folks on the 35-yard line, just 5 yards across from them. And then they kick the ball back. So let's see how this plays out in this. And okay, guy catches it at about the 5. And then they run the kickoff like normal.
Yep.
Honestly, that's, I think, a returner's best friend because these guys don't have all that giddy up behind
wall,
them.
yeah. But
It's more like a standard football play.
Just softening, man. The softening of America, Joey.
Yeah, and I thought XFL was supposed to be Extreme Football League. Though, dude, I want to encourage everybody. It's been a while since I've listened to them. You go in and out of phases with podcasts. But I love, he's out of Huntsville. I think Dale Jackson knows him. Conrad Thompson's wrestling podcast.
Oh, okay.
And there's a whole episode Conrad does something to wrestle about with Bruce Pritchard, where they do a whole episode, like a 3-hour, 4-hour episode on the XFL when Vince wanted to do the XFL. And Bruce Pritchard, who's a wrestling guy, is Vince's right-hand man, is kind of tapped to like go and put the XFL together. Crazy. Like, how is this even
I can only imagine.
How is this even a business? The more it's come out about Vince, for instance, like, how are y'all even a business? This is like a circus sideshow, something that does not exist anymore. They've definitely become more corporate and official, but crazy stuff going on. I encourage folks to look that up. Bruce Pritchard, Conrad Thompson, Something to Wrestle, and that episode on the XFL is just amazing insight.
Excellent.
But let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Early Night.
Hey, Early Night.
I wanted to joke with Eddie in particular because he knows that in most foreign countries, cursing or using profanity is almost part of the language.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, very much so.
I think my favorite one I can't even think about saying on the air would be the one from Italy, our big Catholic country, when they tell us what we could do with the Virgin Madonna. Once he did the literal translation of it, I'm like, we don't have any curse words that intense.
Or how about the Russian curse words? Like, yeah, there's so much around the world. It's people get pretty creative.
Oh yeah,
pretty nasty.
So you know my favorite thing when I first got out of the Air Force, me and HR, I got a chance to laugh at a lady, a local, because she was upset because I said something pissed me off and I wouldn't retract the statement. And I'm like, I really want you to call Chicago. Man, if you heard them people laughing in HR.
Oh, yeah.
There are just some things that don't, some words and phrases just don't matter.
Well, and you just jogged a memory for me. It's funny what sticks with you. I think this was 6th or 7th grade. And like we were just talking about, I was a very good boy. Like I didn't get in trouble. I had straight A's, started to go downhill more later in high school and whatever.
Nerd.
But I was always very good. But I do remember one time I got in trouble. Some kid was climbing around on the monkey bars, but not the way you do it where you're hanging and climbing. He actually had his feet up where he's trying to be like a spider. And of course he falls right on his back and almost breaks his neck and stuff. And I'm walking in, we're talking about what just happened, and I say to one of my friends walking back into the school building, what a dumbass. And the teacher overhears it and makes a huge deal out of it. And my mother tried to make a huge deal out of it, and the whole time my dad is trying to, next to my mom, so you can see he's laughing. He's like, this is the stupidest crap. Give me a break.
Absolutely. It was one of, let's see, wasn't it the HR? It was, I can't remember now, but I mean, I feel you, man. Cultural stuff is so funny.
Well, especially with the internet these days, the stuff I watch, I have to watch myself on these airwaves because you get used to this is what people my age watch and how we talk. So I don't know.
Well, I think you're right, Urbanite, cultural thing, because I remember when we moved to Alaska, it was 11th grade, went from literally Robert E. Lee High School to up there. I told a teacher, ma'am. I called her yes, ma'am, a couple times. She kicked me out of class. Had to go to see the principal about ma'am, and then and the whole conversation with my parents trying to explain to the principal and the teacher, who was young, and she was wholly offended because an older lady gets called ma'am. Honey, that's where we're from.
Honey?
He's trying to, yeah. Oh, it didn't go well. It did not go well at all. We didn't make friends that day. So yeah, it is a cultural thing. I didn't even consider that, but in the end, you know, people actually like the Southern accent once they get used to it.
That's why people love Matlock stuff.
I had a friend that never had a Southern accent. Remember the Tombstone? Remember what was his name? Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Tombstone.
Yes.
Okay, my friend goes from talking like we talk now, the regular metropolitan Southern accent, to sounding like him. I'm like, what the hell did that come from? Every time I introduce him to somebody, I got wide earth and chicken red butter coming out. I'm like, what the hell did that come from? I'm like, if you don't stop that, man, I'm going to kill you.
Stop saying I'm your Huckleberry, too. You're freaking me out.
It was bad because he went to school, he went to college, went to Auburn, so he was using $10,000 words in a Southern accent, and man, girls was eating that crap up. I was like, this is so crazy.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah.
have a good one.
You
Appreciate
too, man.
it,
See you every night.
No, and that it is funny. Two different settings, the code switching that goes on.
Yeah.
Like you have to present yourself in a
Certainly.
particular way, and so, you know, and that's actually the way of the world. I get it. Like
Yeah.
when you're hanging out, maybe drinking with your buddies in your 20s, you're probably going to talk a different way than when you're sitting down for breakfast with grandma.
Very much so.
Unless grandma's got a mouth on her, which I have a feeling those days are coming more and more. Where it's like, well, you see these videos online where sometimes it's the older folks who say a
Right.
thing. You're like, you've been waiting to say that for
You've been
30
waiting
years.
a long time to say that. Yep.
Oh, wow. So we like the change of the kickoff?
I don't
Yeah.
they're just, it's just more softening.
Yeah, the softening of America. The
Yeah,
Nerf.
pretty soon they're just going to start.
Yeah, they'll
being
use a
25.
Nerf. Remember the spike ball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember a Nerf ball, which I love Nerf ball, but how many times did you take a Nerf ball to like the eye where you thought you'd catch it and it'd slip through and bust you right in the face? Kind of hurt a little bit. I can see you probably, they didn't
That
throw
didn't
the
happen.
Nerf ball inside.
No, I was always pretty quick and,
Good for you.
and had good hand-eye coordination.
Good for you. Now, did you also notice, maybe in your neighborhood it was different, but someone always took a bite out of the end of a Nerf ball. It was never perfect.
Yeah, and they would get
Yeah.
beaten up.
Yeah. But I loved a good Nerf ball.
No, I did. I remember the spike ball because you could throw an amazing, like, deep
sure.
ball spiral with that thing
big
with those
training wheels on
fins
it.
on it. Oh, it was great. Like, that was a lot of fun at recess. We made a substitute teacher cry once.
Recess?
Yeah, recess. Or PE. No, and this is right here in Montgomery at Catholic. We made it in middle school. We made a substitute teacher cry because one coach, the PE coach, I won't say his name, but hey Clark, when I'm doing cornerback training,
yeah,
like you keep your legs together. I know you're well endowed, son, but keep your legs together. I'm like, Coach, you don't know who I am. Like he would say stuff and just mess with people, and he was this way when even we were little kids in 6th, 7th grade, just messing with folks. So when we play soccer, under this coach, it was tackle soccer.
Yeah.
Like it was
murder ball.
Oh, it was great. It was a lot of fun. We start doing that in front of a substitute teacher. It was just one of these moms, and she didn't know how to handle it. It's like, why are you hitting him? Why are you tackling him? This is like,
it's what we do.
What we do, lady.
It's recess.
So, like, I don't think I'm some big tough guy. Like I'm, Douglas MacArthur, that grew up with a Civil War father. But also, I'm noticing the softening. I really am.
Softening of America, man. I hate it. I would think that's because we're becoming a more progressed, smarter type people, but I don't think that's it. We're really just lazier.
Well, did you see? I mentioned this yesterday. James Carville,
Yeah.
bald, freaky looking guy.
He's a weird dude, yeah.
Well, he said something to the effect of, well, the problem with the Democratic Party is that we got all these preachy women. We got a lot of men in this party, too. Maybe they get a say. It's like, wow. I think he touched the electric fence there.
Was he not canceled yesterday by saying that?
Well, because I think he's right, though. The biggest divide in American politics is, I think, between men and women right now, especially single men and single women. It's
a big
unreal.
line there. I hate say it this way, but a big softening there.
Yeah, so leave it to Carville to say the
Oh,
part
that's
everybody
funny.
else
I
doesn't
can't
wanna
believe
say.
that nobody just reamed him
Oh,
for
I'm
that.
sure people did.
But it's its own party now. Democrats let Democrats do whatever they want to do.
Unless you cross a certain line.
I thought that was a line crosser there.
Well, they are preachy.
I know, but Joey, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. That's besides the point.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Jean.
Hey, Jean.
Hey, Joey, don't forget to send Miss Lucy an Easter basket for Easter.
This is true, Joey.
Oh, you're right.
This is
We need
true.
to get on that like today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just wanted to remind you.
Well, thank you, Gene. I appreciate it.
All right. Love you.
Love you too. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm actually, because some of these quotes were amazing. Well, yeah, there some people did speak out.
I figured some Hillary Clinton types would come on out with the knives out on that one.
So this was not like on video. This was a sit-down interview with New York Times reporter Maureen Dowd.
Okay.
And here's what Carville said. Dowd wrote that Carville has been obsessed with Biden bleeding black male voters, which is, it's usually younger black men are not loving Biden right now. And here's where Carville steps in it according to the Democrats. But he says, a suspicion of mine is that there are too many preachy females dominating the culture of this party. Don't drink beer. Don't watch football. Don't eat hamburgers. This is not good for you. The message is too feminine. Everything you're doing is destroying the planet. You've got to eat your peas. If you listen to the Democratic elites, NPR is my go-to place for that. The whole talk is about how women and women of color are going to decide this election. I'm like, well, 48% of the people that vote are males. Do you mind if we have some consideration? That is an amazing quote.
Find where he's wrong. Point it out, Joe.
Amazing quote. And then AOC, of course, had to respond to it. What did she say? Maybe he should start a podcast about it. I hear men are really underrepresented in that space.
Still think she's hot.
Objectively, yes, but
Nancy Reagan was hotter.
You think Nancy? Don't talk about Nancy that way.
Just
wow. Yeah. I hear men are really underrepresented in that space. How much, if you want to start a podcast, just start a podcast.
Right.
Well, there is a little bit of truth to how many like great female orators are there in human history? Oh, it's just because the men kept them down. Like, no, I think there's a difference.
Yeah. But I will say, I mean, I don't
there are certain women who are great.
Yeah, I don't think I watch 50-50 between male and female podcasters, but I don't find myself going, oh, this is a female. I must immediately switch to a male.
Right.
If they're enjoyable, entertaining, and educational, I don't care who's giving me the
and
message.
some female-led podcasts are great. I love, what's that Lauren Compton doing a thing under Your Mom's House Network, where it's the first date thing, where she gets into people's love life and all that?
I can't stand that one.
You don't like it?
I cannot stand her. Yeah.
I like it because it makes people uncomfortable, like you.
You're right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly right.
Like I like that a good bit. I do generally think this, you've probably seen this Bobby Atloff chick, who does like these snarky interviews with like top end stuff, like Shaq.
Oh, okay.
Like she just did one with Andrew Santino that was hilarious.
Okay, that was great.
Where they're just insulting each other.
Yeah, they're fixing to do another one too. Yeah.
You know, so there are great female comedians out there and podcasters. It's just I get so tired of this like all men, all women thing. It's like no, I just don't like
it's
you.
An easier way to separate people. A lot of places I used to work, instead of the company saying we would like you workers to be angry at us management, they would put a split down the middle. They'd say, you are in this department and you are in this department. And they would always come to you and say, that other department is making you guys look bad. They'd always go to the other department and say the same thing. And you know what? That caused us not to get along. When the real enemy, well, was the management.
And all these preachy women.
I had a few of them.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's us?
Talk about preaching. Preaching.
What up, Duke?
I tell you what, to solve this thing. How y'all doing?
Doing wonderful.
Doing okay.
There's a chick named Katie Brick.
Yeah.
You need to get these women in. If you need to get these women in and sit them down at the kitchen table, have a little talk with them.
What would you like?
all.
What would you like her to say to these women?
Well, see, there's a place in the kitchen. Things start off in the kitchen. So, once you graduate from the kitchen, then you can make it expand to other places.
I don't want the people making my food mad with me.
That was an easy one right there. That was an easy
No,
one
that
right
was
there.
that was weight room. We hadn't talked in a few days, and that's the best you got out of the gate.
I really called about this cat that what's this guy name? Donnie, talking about selling Bibles and stuff.
Oh, yeah, this is the
what's
second
going
guy
on with
we
this
bought a
Bible
Bible
thing?
for.
This is the God Bless America Bible.
Yeah, buddy.
It has Lee Greenwood handwritten song lyrics. It
God
has
bless
the
America.
Declaration of Independence. Have you heard of it?
Give me a pair of gold sneakers to put on. So those old Bible underneath my arm, boy. What else I need? What else Trump say you give it away?
Can we raise the money
yeah,
somehow, Eddie, to where we buy all this stuff
Oh, I would love to.
and just take a photo with it?
I hate that I didn't buy the sneakers because they were affordable for about 2 minutes.
Right.
But what's missing now? Trump got to have a tent now. If he's gonna do this revival thing right, he got to have a tent.
A tent?
You know, he got the tent. He got the tennis shoes. People jumping up and down and shouting. They're going, "Oh, we got to have something on the feet." So we got to have a tent for the Bible study and the tongue, speaking in tongue and all that stuff. These people do at these tents. You got to have a tent. So
No, I think
so
Trump
you
would
get
sell
money.
whatever. He's like, and to reach
know,
out
we need
to
to make
my,
some money, though.
excuse me, to reach out to my Satanist friends. Here's a Trump Baphomet, half man, half goat, but it's glorious.
Yeah.
I do it better than anybody. Like, it's just, I think it's a play to the people are saying it's a financial thing. Trump's position in this going public with True Social, $3 billion. He's got the
Are
money.
you going to buy anything?
But
No.
for real though, he can make some money right now though. He got the Bible, he got the shoes, so he can get the tent, so he can get all these fanatics out here that's following him up to the end. They spend that money, and they, all those everybody be happy, everybody be rich,
Right.
I just wanna participate some kind of way, make some of this money.
Now, I want to continue on with this preachy women thing because it's not just James Carville.
Oh,
yeah.
It's actually, I think, would you say this is a black woman, Eddie? Her name is Nina Turner. She's a progressive activist and former surrogate for Bernie Sanders.
What's she talking about? What Nina talking about?
She's on with the Breakfast Club. Let's let's listen in together.
Don't blame black people for this. Why we got to keep saving folks? And black men have been emasculated in the Democratic Party. That's real. They don't see themselves because to lift up black women is beautiful. We should, but not at the expense of black men. We have achieved what we have achieved so far in this country because we are together. And we can't pick up other people's bad habits. Now, white women may be able to lead a white man by the side of the road. Sisters can't do that. And the way that in this politics, the way the Democratic Party, the mothers of the movement, and black women delivered and black women saved, black men do not vote much differently than black women. So don't do that. If Trump wins, God forbid, it is going to be because this president and the Democratic Party did not deliver material changes for the people of this nation.
I think she's
Can't
100%
argue with
right.
that at all. Can't argue with that at all.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
So what somebody was trying to say? What were they trying to say? What was the what she responding? What was she responding to?
Because you're seeing it in polling, black men, especially younger black men, are leaning more towards the Trump. For a lot of
he got him with those tennis shoes.
yeah, I don't think it was the tennis shoe. Well, maybe it was the mugshot or the trading cards. I don't know.
I'm telling you, one of the two, man.
No, I think, Duke, it comes down to there
is
is a growing. It's beautiful. There is a growing black middle class. A lot of young black men are business owners, are working in this economy, and they get that they're being lied to by Washington D.C. They get they're being fed a line. And they're kind of tired of the crap. And I think the internet has opened things up a great deal in terms of the conversation.
So come on to the other side. We're a better lie on this side. What are you trying to say?
Right. Well, no, it's a binary choice. They're all liars. Fair enough. It's a
Come on over this side. We'll tell you a better lie. We could cover ours up a little bit better. All right, let me go. I'm going.
All right. Appreciate it. But she was responding to the idea that people are going to blame black men if they don't vote with the Democrats, the next time again. And I think she makes a good point in response. 272-9228. We'll see where people go. Because at the end of the day, people can vote for whatever reason they want. People can vote for economic reasons or cultural. But I think at the end of the day, it is how much you can put on the kitchen table. It is how much you can provide for you and the people you love. And if you are trying to make it in this world, make it in America by owning part of the American dream, whether that's a home or a business, however you're making your wealth, to see yourself getting ripped off while the folks in power are saying, well, this is, everything's fine. Everything's wonderful. Why are you even complaining? Everything's fine. Everything's wonderful. Joe Biden whooped inflation. Joe Biden is like, he's the man who did all this stuff for us. Why are y'all complaining when folks know, say if you're a business owner, my inputs, my costs are going through the roof. I'm having trouble paying my employees, but I want to help them out because small business, these people are like family to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting squeezed. All while I'm seeing a bunch of virtue signaling about like Trump is a slaver or something. And I think there are folks a little, it's worn thin. Like a lot of the crap you hear from Republicans is worn thin.
Yep.
Like we have to reinvent ourselves at some point. And just alluding back to the past constantly over and over again is, in my mind, more a system of control by a certain managerial elite that's controlling everybody. They're Republicans, they're Democrats, black, white, they're controlling 100%. Men, women, everybody.
100%.
And maybe we could get a new break where everybody is actually set free, freer than we are now, to pursue our own interests and work together. I think that would work out better. But here's an example of, well, sometimes they can't take the heat. For some reason, Mean Karine Jean, or Karine Jean-Pierre, whatever her name is, she went on a radio show in North Carolina.
I think I heard about this.
And, well, she hung up after getting 2 tough questions.
Just 2?
Yeah, let's judge if this is, like, were these guys out of line, these hosts? So let's listen.
The number of people that I was talking to you today, it was interesting, though. They all said, would you please just ask her, does the president have dementia? And so before I move on from that, does he?
Mark, I can't even believe you're asking me this question. That is an incredibly offensive question to ask.
But you know people ask it.
Wait, no. You, Mark, you're taking us down this rabbit hole. Let me be very clear about this. For the past several years, the president's physician has laid out in a comprehensive way the president's health. This is a president, if you watch him every day, if you really pay attention to his record and what he has done, you will see exactly how focused he's been on the American people, how historic his actions has been. And so I'm not even going to truly, really, take the premise of your question. I think it is incredibly insulting, and so we can move on to the next question.
Gas prices and grocery prices, then big topics here in North Carolina. How does Mr. Biden win votes when people don't have as much disposable income?
Look, the president understands. He grew up in a middle-class family, working-class family in Scranton, Pennsylvania. He gets it. He understands how difficult it is for Americans who are sitting around their kitchen table every month trying to figure out what they're going to pay for. You have to remember when the president walked into this administration, there were multiple crises happening. There was COVID. There was the economy was in a tailspin because of the last administration, because of what the President Trump left us with. Now you're asking me about gas prices. The president took action on gas prices. Let's not forget Russia's invasion on Ukraine skyrocketed prices of gas. And because the president took action, we are in a different place than we were a year ago on gas prices. Eggs, milk, seafood products, all the important groceries, those costs have gone down because of what this president has been able to do. And with that, thank you so much, Mark. Have an amazing, amazing day.
Wow.
And she hung up.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, Mark, listen, I am nominating you to get a press corps badge, and you need to go to the White House.
Wow.
Now, honestly, his questions weren't that hard.
That was out of Charlotte on a talk station very much like ours.
Right. They weren't hard questions. I bet she was surprised by it because she probably expected a cupcake type interview. But instead of answering the hard questions, this administration's damned you for asking the hard questions.
Well, and you can claim his doctor says he's fine. He doesn't have dementia, but people also watch him every day.
Right. When she said watch him every day.
We do.
Exactly. I have not seen a moment, and you correct me if I'm wrong. When's the last moment you saw where you thought Biden did not have dementia? Where you thought, oh, he's clear-headed? Besides that little speech he gave a while back when we know they had him doped up.
Yeah.
And they know they only had X amount of time to hurry up and get him out of there because it's going to wear off.
Right. Well, and the bouts of anger, all this sort of stuff.
But can't be too mad. Can't be too.
But, if they want to say he hasn't been diagnosed with it, they could probably say that truthfully. He probably has not been diagnosed with it.
I disagree with
You
that.
can split hairs there.
I agreed, but
what I'm getting to is when she said, all those costs have come down.
Yeah.
You are an effing liar. Sorry for using harsh letters, Bob. All those prices are still up. All that's slowed down is the rate of increase.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? It's not just this administration. It's every administration. It's all the folks that have accepted the conventional wisdom, and we've built entire institutions off of it, that in order to have a good economy, we need to be able to devalue your money year after inflation's a good thing. Because, Eddie, if your money's gaining value through deflation, why would you go buy that thing when you know your money could even buy more? It's like, well, because maybe today I want a cup of coffee or a car.
Because tomorrow I won't be able to afford it.
They're destroying your ability as an everyday person to save in your money. It's not a store value anymore. It's why I'm so bullish and such a believer again in Bitcoin. But it's such a lie. Lies, damn lies, and statistics.
Yep.
The price of things have not come down.
Not at all, dude.
It's like, oh, we've cut the deficit. We've cut the... We're adding more and more.
But these are the same people. We should not be surprised. These are the same people that lied to us about COVID. These are the same people that are in there. Why would they not keep lying? Nothing happened to them with this big lie. Nothing happened.
And we'll see where it all goes. But as I was mentioning, the polls are showing things tightening up. Trump leaves Biden just 46-45, a new CNBC national poll. He led 48-42 in the same poll in December. New Bloomberg Morning Consult poll for Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. Top line numbers are getting tighter. Biden now leads in Wisconsin, tied in Michigan and Pennsylvania. He's gaining ground in all 7 battleground states.
Don't believe it. Absolutely don't believe these pollsters. Not at all.
So we'll see where it all goes.
Especially anything put out by NBC or CSNBC. Remember who they just fired the other day?
Oh, Ronna McDaniel or whatever?
Does that not tell you that they are a very one-sided network? They want no opinion from nobody else. So why would I believe anything they ever tell me? It's always going to be tainted.
Hey, this part of the program?
Yeah.
Brought to you by River Region Contracting.
Oh, those are good folks.
Really good folks. Great local folks, like so many of our sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
And they can help you with that roof of yours there at River Region Contracting. Yeah, they do both asphalt and metal roofs?
Yes, they do.
Okay. And you've had them work on both? Okay.
Had them work on both. And both times it was a pleasurable experience. The first time they came out and did the inspection, I took advantage of the inspection offer they had. Educated me very well because I thought I still had another 20, 30 years left on that roof. But they said, yeah, your roof is fine, but it's these metal screws you got to worry about. And they showed me why. The little grommets will rust out or kind of break, and all of a sudden you end up with a drip. Well, the thing about the hard shingles, not the metal siding, but it's the regular everyday black shingles you see, Alabama heat, they start melting together. So they just start getting brittle. So you might have a 30-year roof, 15 years down the road, you start looking at it, doesn't look like it probably should anymore.
Right.
Get it inspected.
Right. And, well, here's the deal. If you leave something without getting it looked into for too long, your insurance company is going to tell you, no, you were negligent.
It's exactly right, Joe.
And they're like, fight us in court if you don't like it.
Exactly right.
That's why, especially in this Alabama weather, like Eddie's saying, you should get it done yearly. And here's the great news. At River Region Contracting, their inspections and estimates are always free.
Absolutely.
And they're a team of insurance specialists. So if you find a problem with your roof, your insurance company might cover. They can walk you through that claims process and make it an easy and pleasurable experience.
I've seen them do it, man. I've seen them do it.
That number, 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell Todd Clark and that great team there at River Region Contracting that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From a little fender bender to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For over 35 years, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Hi, everybody. The weather news is getting better and better over the next several days, especially as we approach the Easter weekend. Lots of sunshine today. I've got us around 74 for the high temperature. Partly cloudy, cooler tonight, overnight low 48. Tomorrow's high up to about 69, lots of sun. And then for Easter weekend, Good Friday, high in the lower 70s. I think we'll be in the upper 70s Saturday, near or above 80 on Easter Sunday, and sunshine for several days in a row. A great forecast. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money?
Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit.
You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist?
That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
I see.
Yes, he is our preferred money man.
The money man with the money plan.
You've been paying attention.
Well, could you give us those numbers one more time?
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man.
Oh, what's that?
I'm not an elk.
Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you?
Knights of Columbus.
I am not even going to make a comment.
Well, the baby liked it.
Madness is happening right now. But the real action is happening at Toyota of Montgomery. Score our biggest Toyota savings of the year. That's on our biggest selection of new Toyotas in stock. Like the game-winning 2024 Camry, now $299 a month. Trade in your old car. No matter what it is, no matter where you got it. We'll give you up to $2,000 over book value for it. And they're here. The Toyota of Montgomery All-Stars. Shop and save thousands on our certified pre-owned Toyotas. They're just like new Toyotas, even come with a warranty, but cost thousands less. Want in on the action? Hurry before it all ends March 31st. Dribble down to Toyota of Montgomery online at toyotamontgomery.com. Part of the Sutherland Automotive Group. Camry LE MSRP $30,958, 12,000 miles per year for 36 month leases with 3638 due at signing. $0 security deposit with accrued credit. Trade value is based on excessive wear, tear, and mileage, plus tax, tag, title, and $9.95 dock fee. Offer ends 4/1/2024.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, you will immediately see the difference in pricing. Not only do we offer the most competitive rates, but our closing costs rank among the lowest in the industry. How do we do it? Because we can. We do not have the overhead that big banks and lenders do. Those big banks and lenders have big expenses. And what do? They pass those expenses along to you. Meanwhile, here at Alabama Home Mortgage, we receive wholesale rates which result in big savings that we pass along to you. Don't pay more for less. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our rates and pricing are just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Now, following up on something I talked about a little bit yesterday with Judge Napolitano, UK court orders to delay Julian Assange extradition to the United States on espionage charges. This is from Newsmax. A British court says Julian Assange cannot immediately be extradited to the United States on espionage charges. It's a partial victory for the WikiLeaks founder. Two high court judges said they would grant Assange a new appeal unless U.S. authorities give further assurances about what will happen to him. The ruling means the legal saga, which has dragged on for more than a decade, will continue. The case has been adjourned until May the 20th. Judges Victoria Sharp and Jeremy Johnson said that if no assurances are filed by the U.S., they will grant Assange permission to appeal extradition on grounds including breach of freedom of expression and because he might receive the death penalty. During a two-day hearing in the High Court in February, Assange's lawyer, Edward Fitzgerald, said American authorities were seeking to punish him for WikiLeaks' exposure of criminality on the part of the U.S. government on an unprecedented scale, including torture and killings. Assange's supporters have argued he is a journalist protected by the First Amendment who exposed U.S. military wrongdoing in Iraq and Afghanistan that was in the public interest. They've argued his prosecution is politically motivated and he can't get a fair trial in the U.S. The U.S. government said Assange's actions went beyond journalism by soliciting, stealing, and indiscriminately publishing classified government documents that endangered innocent lives. So a break in the case there for Julian Assange. We shall see. But I think what the British court's essentially demanding is you treat him with the full rights that he deserves. Then we'll send him over there. Give him full-on due process. Then we'll talk and give up the goods. And 272-9228 if you want to hop in before we close up shop. But it does appear that the Biden camp is continuing to panic over RFK Jr. And it's because I think, even though common knowledge might be RFK's more pulling from the Trump or the politically homeless, no, he's a liberal through and through, and don't underestimate the Kennedy name. Also, don't underestimate the powers that be in this country backing Biden and the establishment in the Democratic Party, because there's an establishment in both parties, folks. Don't underestimate what they can do when they go to work on somebody. Now, the ship that crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge, now 6 presumed dead because they couldn't be found. But the ship was inspected 27 times since construction in 2015, with deficiencies found twice. It was being piloted by Baltimore port expert crew at time of collision. Captain did drop port anchor in desperate bid to slow down. Chilean authorities last summer reported the ship had propulsion malfunctions. So I think we're only now getting to understand the problem. But like a lot of these events, there are a lot of little signs leading up to it, and people just were cutting corners and not paying attention. What an absolute shame. And amid critical manpower shortages, the Army is trying to lure back retirees, which is not a good sign for morale and recruitment there in the Army. If you're trying to get retired Army service members back into the fold, back into uniform, that suggests that the new folks coming up just ain't interested in joining your force. Not a good thing for folks at all. But how about this? Let's hit a quick break. We'll be right back. More news and views after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
In Alabama, more than 200,000 of our family members and friends are living without health coverage. Often folks can't stay healthy enough to keep their jobs. We need to fix this. It's time for us to find a way to close the health care coverage gap so that folks can remain in their jobs. Where there's a priority out there, we as Alabamians have always found a way to achieve it. Contact Governor Kay Ivey and let her know. Now is the time to close the coverage gap and cover Alabama.
Paid for by the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
I'm with Miss Dot at the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall. How was your anniversary sale, Dot?
It was just wonderful, and I want to thank everybody that came out. It was a great time. It meant so much to me for it to be 30 years, and y'all just came out and made my day.
Well, spring is almost here. Is Eastbrook ready?
We're beginning to get the patio tables and chairs out. We've got so much there, it's hard to put it into a minute commercial. You just got to come see what we got. You know, we've got 3 floors and 60,000 square feet. So just come see us, because we probably got a sale or 2 going, and our merchandise is pretty reasonable, I think. We don't charge a commission to the vendors, and so our prices are able to be a little bit less than some other places.
Give us those hours of operation.
Monday through Friday, 10 until 6. Saturday, 9 until 6. And Sunday is 12:30 to 4:30.
That's the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall, 425 Coliseum Boulevard.
So y'all come on by and see us. We'd love to have you.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. This part of the program brought to you by, Prattville Carpet.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Ray Bull's on vacation. He's enjoying himself, so we normally would talk to him on the phone, but we're going to do the ad here, Eddie. And
all right.
The main selling point of Prattville Carpet is, again, they're great local folks, and they'll literally go the extra mile to help you out. What does that mean? We'll call them up at 285-8117 and ask about a free in-home measurement. What does that mean? It means, okay, I want to redo the living room.
Right.
I want to redo the carpet in the bedroom.
Right.
They can come on in. They'll measure exactly the area that you're trying to resurface. And that way, once you pick out the type of carpet you want or the type of hardwood you want or the luxury vinyl plank or the laminate products, or maybe you're redoing a bathroom so it's all ceramic tile.
Oh, nice.
But once they have that measurement, you pick out the product, they'll know exactly how much it's going to cost you.
Right.
And how quickly they can get it done. It just makes it a smooth and easy process. Now, of course, you can always stop by 2201 Copsford Road, but they'll even bring you samples when they come to see you as well, if you already have a general idea of what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So again, whether it's carpet, hardwood, traditional hardwood, laminate, flooring, or the luxury vinyl plank, which looks like traditional hardwood,
Really does.
great stuff, or even ceramic tile, they do it all there, Prattville Carpet. Again, that number, 285-8117. That's 285-8117. And be sure to tell Ray and that great team there that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the afternoon sent you. So, got about like 2 minutes left. Did we learn anything today?
I relearned my love for Ingram's ribs.
Yeah, they're really, really good over there at Sweet Creek.
Mm-hmm. And I learned that, you know what, Joey? You look pretty good with a little bit of sauce on your cheeks like that. That's a cute look for Joey. A little barbecue sauce on him.
Making me feel uncomfortable, man.
You should do your profile pic that way.
HR!
Just say
HR!
I'm trying to help you out. Gives you that cute kind of approachable look.
Don't go all
Little
pervert.
vulnerable.
Don't go all the diddler on me.
No. That's not this guy. No.
What do you think about that? I mean, we got a minute left, but what do you think about that?
I think there's more coming.
About Diddy?
Yep. And I think there's somebody else behind Diddy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, buddy.
What do you think he did to Justin Bieber?
I know that relationship suddenly stopped.
Yep.
And
Bieber went a little nuts.
Yep. And let's not forget Beyonce. How old was she when she started dating? Yeah, there's another one coming.
Not good.
Nope.
Not good. Well, I covered it yesterday, but Cat Williams is a prophet.
Love Cat Williams.
He called it, man.
He did. He sure did.
And more is coming indeed. Yeah, but just stop looking at me like you're P. Diddy looking at a
I'm trying to
snack.
help you out with the whole single thing.
Yeah, no, with the sauce. I
Just a
love
little
the
bit-
sauce
you got,
on your cheeks.
Like you're holding a rib, you know, kind of action
Yeah,
shot.
then I got people on the stream calling me fat. Joey looks like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man when he wears white. Oh, screw all y'all. Happy hour's next. Y'all enjoy.
From the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
I'm John Scott. Talks have restarted aimed at bringing top Israeli officials to Washington to discuss potential military operations in Gaza. The word comes after Prime Minister Netanyahu had canceled a planned visit this week because he was angry about the U.S. vote on a UN ceasefire resolution. Attorneys for Hunter Biden expected in court in Los Angeles, where he's accused in what prosecutors call a 4-year scheme to avoid paying $1.4 million in taxes while living an extravagant lifestyle. His attorneys are asking the judge to dismiss the case. One of the suspects in the fatal shooting of a New York City police officer has been arrested on weapons charges. 41-year-old Lindy Jones, awaiting arraignment for his suspected role in Monday's shooting of Officer Jonathan Diller. The Dow had 340 points, the Nasdaq up 17.